Welcome to the Rich Rebel Football Pregame Show. We are broadcasting live from the Les Schwab Plains Tires broadcast booth. Today, the Rich Rebel football team takes on the Kemmerer Rangers in Kemmerer, Wyoming. Kickoff is scheduled for about 35 minutes from now. When we return, we'll cover our scene set for today's game. You're listening to a Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rich Rebels football on 98.3 FM and online at mylocalradio.com.
Pam Cornea with Town & Country Realty in beautiful Bear Lake enthusiastically supports the Rich High Rebels.
After all, I raised 4 of them, from football, basketball, wrestling to volleyball. I supported them all. I bleed blue.
The Caribbean of the Rockies, Bear Lake, offers a variety of activities in every season. Pam would love to assist you in finding your own Bear Lake retreat. Call her today, 435-779-0012.
You're tuned into the Rich Rebel pregame show. We are broadcasting live from the Les Schwab Plains Tires broadcast booth. It is time for today's scene set, brought to you by Pam Cornea at Town & Country Realty, buying and selling Bear Lake in Utah and Idaho. Call Pam Cornea today, 435-779-0012. Well, we are in beautiful Kemmerer, Wyoming, as you see the backdrop from the press box. Once again, just another incredible location that we have that we're going to play a football game in. I get, once again, a Midwestern boy. I mean, I'm going to bore you to death with, I'm from Michigan. I've never seen mountains before. And now I think every week, besides possibly last week, we've had mountains in the background as we get our camera fixed. Sorry about the shaky camera. We were trying to get the camera situated. We're in a press box. Once again, sometimes the tripod's a little too big for the press box. This time it was. Even our small tripod was too big for the press box. And now that we got it all set, you can see the beautiful backdrop, but let's move on to the field. The field's awfully nice. It's awesome. I'm a big proponent of turf fields, and they have a really nice one. They have every 5 yards is patterned at a different colored green, except when you get to the 40, except when you get in between the 45s and the 10 yards from the Rebel 45 to the Kemmerer 45. They are all the dark green, but you can see just in the back, you might not be able to notice it too much on camera, but it's a lighter shade of green every 5 yards, and I think that is sweet. But it's going to be 60 degrees tonight. It's going to be beautiful weather for a football game. Looks like the Kemmerer band's going to be here. It seems like it's going to be a great atmosphere. This should be a lot of fun. I'm really excited about this football game. So should you. We'll be right back. Actually, our scene set today has been brought to you by Pam Cornea at Town & Country Realty. Whether you're buying or selling in Bear Lake, Idaho, or Utah, call Pam Cornea today, 435-779-0012. When we come back, we'll visit with South Rich High School alumni, actually, Pete Cornea, who graduated in 1974. The Mound Valley Cattle Company segment, on the Mound Valley Cattle Company segment, where are they now? You're listening to a Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rich Rebel Football on 98.3 FM and online at mylocalradio.com.
Success doesn't come by accident. Success requires hard work, perseverance, learning, sacrifice, and believing in yourself. Eddie and Todd Jensen established the Mound Valley Cattle Company in Thatcher, Idaho on these very principles. The students, staff, athletes, and coaches at Rich High School value these same fundamentals in education and activities, in athletics, and in life. Good luck, Rebels, from Mound Valley Cattle Company, serving customers in Utah, Idaho, and Wyoming since 1997.
Time for the Mound Valley Cattle Company pregame show segment called Where Are They Now? This week, we're talking to Pete Cornea, a South Rich High School graduate of 1974. Thanks, Pete Cornea, for being part of today's pregame show. It is now time for our Mound Valley Cattle Company Where Are They Now segment. And in today's segment, we're talking to Pete Cornea, who is a 1974 graduate of South Rich High School. How are you doing today, Pete?
Good.
That's good to hear. Can you just kind of talk about what it means to you to grow up? Although you graduated from South Rich High School that eventually merged with the other schools to become Rich High School, what does it mean to you that you grew up in a small town like this?
Oh, it was huge. You know everybody. When you're making decisions, you have a lot of people to use for examples. You don't have quite so much of that in a larger town. We had a very small class. There were only 18 that were in my graduating class, and we lost one young man when we were sophomores. I think we finally ended up graduating 18, but so you knew everybody very well. You were friends and you had a relationship with everybody in that school. That was a plus side. Perhaps we didn't have quite as many opportunities as kids have at a bigger school, but we certainly never felt deprived.
So what are some of the things that you've been doing since you graduated high school? Give us a little bit of an update on yourself.
I graduated from Utah State University. I rodeoed for several years until I had an accident that broke my neck, and that kind of ended my bareback riding. I married my present wife back in 1988, and we have, between the two of us, have 3 boys and a daughter. They're all grown now, obviously. One of my sons is part of the staff at Rich High School now. The other 2 are out farther away. And my daughter is trains racehorses, which she loves. The other 2 boys one of them's involved in racehorses, and the other manages a mechanic shop in Evanston. My oldest boy, Clint, he participated in basketball at Rich and also had some success in high school rodeo. My middle boy, Dirk, he wrestled and played some football. Both these kids had good experiences at Rich and had opportunities that they were certainly glad to partake of. My wife graduated from Morgan High School, so she bleeds blue now, but it's tinged a little bit with Morgan's color. She still loves her hometown and her school, which is the way it ought to be.
So I heard a little rumor, I guess, about yourself, Pete, that you've written a couple of books.
Well, I wrote a Christmas poem for my daughter back in 2005. She was 5 years old, and I started on Christmas Eve and finished it Christmas morning. And I didn't do anything with it for quite a while, and then they had me come into the church one night for a Christmas party and asked me to read that poem. And I did, and I looked down in the audience, and there was a man sitting there with tears running down his cheeks, and I thought, maybe I ought to do something with that poem. So that got it started, and then I've written a lot of cowboy poems, and the other book is a compilation of about 50 of those poems, my favorites. So I guess you could say, and I've managed to turn it into a couple of books. How's that? I'm not a novelist.
But it sounds like you're a poet, which I think that's even cooler. Cowboy poetry was how it was described to me as well, and that's super interesting. Is that something that you've always wanted to do, or was that just on a limb you wrote that poem?
Well, I wrote one many, many years ago and never wrote another one. And then I was home with my youngest son. My wife was gone a night. They just discovered the first mad cow in the United States. And I just put pen to paper and wrote a poem I called Ballad of the Mad Cow. And it seemed to be well received. I just started doing it whenever I got a good idea or had an experience I thought would turn into a good poem, I wrote it. I've written close to 100 now, which isn't very many when you compare it to somebody like Mr. Flake out of Arizona. I think he'd written 250 or something like that. But I've had a lot of fun with them.
That's super interesting. One last question before you go, Pete. What does it mean to you to have a couple generations worth of family as Rebels, as you alluded to earlier? You have a son that still works at Rich High School. What does it mean to you to have just a couple generations of kids that went to the same school?
Oh, it's huge. I've always been a fan of Rich County schools, and my daughter played volleyball and basketball. My son, that's a teacher, he played football and basketball, and he's involved in some coaching and teaches science. My other 2 boys I know they enjoyed their time at Rich. It's just huge to know that they were able to participate in the things, the activities they wanted, because a lot of times those are in a large school, you don't get that chance. You know, there can always be somebody that jumps a little higher, runs a little faster, and so the opportunities are more available, I think, to kids as far as sports and some of the things. If a kid wants to do something at Rich, he's got the desire and the work ethic, he can usually do it.
Awesome, Pete. I appreciate your time. Thank you so much for this.
Thank you.
We want to thank Pete Cornea for talking with us today and giving us an update on where are they now. And thanks to Mound Valley Cattle Company, Eddie and Todd Jensen out of Thatcher, Idaho, for making this segment of today's game possible. Mound Valley Cattle Company, supporting Rich Rebels in all their endeavors. Coming up next, the Bear Lake Memorial Hospital pregame coaches show. Bear Lake Memorial Hospital, the most caring hospital on earth. You're listening to a Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rebel Football on 98.3 FM and online at mylocalradio.com.
Amazing people work at the Bear Lake Memorial Hospital in Montpelier. From the receptionists to the doctors, the x-ray techs to the food service staff, from the phlebotomist to housekeeping and everyone in between. The care you receive can't be matched anywhere else. We really care about your health. We care about you. We work hard to have top quality equipment and facilities and provide a wide range of services so we can serve every patient. When selecting your healthcare providers, choose Bear Lake Memorial Hospital. You'll feel the difference.
Welcome back to the Les Schwab Plains Tires broadcast booth. Today we are in Kemmerer, Wyoming, where the Rich Rebels take on the Kemmerer Rangers. This week I had the chance to visit with Coach Bart Jernigan and Rebels head coach Tyson Larson. This is what Coach Jernigan had to say about tonight's match. I'm here with head coach of the Kemmerer High School football team, Bart Jernigan. Coach Jernigan, how are you doing today?
Oh, doing really well. Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
It's awesome you're here. This is an exciting matchup we have coming up. You guys are 1-1. You took care of Hot Springs County in your region and lost the opening week game. But what have you seen from your team so far that you've really liked?
Oh, I thought last week we played a really gritty, tough brand of football. The first game aside, we didn't really get off the bus for that one, to be honest with you. We looked so poor, but I thought our kids bounced back. I thought the way that we kind of came back and found ourselves last week was good. I thought the physical level of football we played with was nice. Our O-line kind of found some of their footing last week, and so hopefully we can roll that into this next week. And we found a couple things we could do in the run game that I had hoped for, but I didn't know if we were quite ready for yet. But we showed that we were capable of that last week, so hopefully we can keep it rolling against the good quality, rich defense. And defensively, I like the way we played in the second half. A lot more active on our tackles, a little bit better coverage in the back defensive backfield, and so we took some things away that were hurting us otherwise. But there were a lot of good things from last week, and that big step between week 1 and week 2 is always nice to see, because you wonder sometimes after week 1 when you look at what you're doing whether it's going to work out, and the kids definitely did a great job of making it happen last week.
What would you say the identity of the Kemmerer Rangers is?
Oh, we want to be a hard-nosed, tough-playing team. We want to be founded around good defense and solid tackling and good hard hit and physicality. And then offensively, much the same. We are a downhill running team. We want to be able to consistently drive the ball on the ground and then hit big in the passing game with play-action passes. Generally, that's kind of the ethos that we have. We want to also be clean on special teams and use that to kind of gain an advantage in that third of the game.
For someone who's tuning in for the first time seeing the Kemmerer Rangers, who are a few players they should look out for?
So I think it probably starts in our backfield. Those will be the guys that you'll notice most offensively. Backfield with Seth Krell as a senior, Roni Profit. He doesn't do as much running the ball, but he's a great lead blocker for us. And then Reagan Walker is a big contributor. You'll also see Landon Heaps at our quarterback. He kind of runs the show, and last week he hasn't had the most stellar passing games yet this season, but I really do think he's bound to break out with that soon here. I think those will be the guys that'll jump out off the screen, maybe to those who are watching for the first time. Defensively, similarly, I think Landon Heaps at an outside backer, and then Reagan Walker. I think those are two leading point getters, and Seth plays free safety behind him. The more kind of cultured football eye, I guess, will probably and hopefully appreciate just the work of the O-line and some of the different schemes that we run, and they as a whole have done a really good job. That's Carl Haslam, and we got Tim Peck up there, and we got Tanner Schramm and Grayson Kelly and Gabe Emery and Owen Barton, and I think I said Tim Peck already, but those 6 guys are doing a really good job and did a great job last week, so I'm hopeful that the viewer this week noticed them doing a good job again.
What challenges do the Rich Rebels present when you watch them on film?
Oh, geez. There's athleticism all over the field. They got a couple of kids who can just straight lie, and then they run a deceptive enough and varied enough offense that you really need to respect about everything, particularly out of their option attack. Anytime you face an option team, you have to be disciplined, and that's, not only is it smash mouth football, but it's disciplined smash mouth football, and it requires definitive level of preparation for a team that comes out and is able to execute it as well as Rich does. Defensively, just the way their backers play downhill jumps out of that film off. Last week, watching their film against Mountain View, they were all over the field. They're very aggressive and then like to fly up and make big plays in the backfield. So we're going to have to be on our best game to get out there and get what we want out of it. But definitely a team that you watch on film and you can't help but have a ton of respect for what they're doing and what's happening over there in Rich.
Awesome, Coach. I appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you. Appreciate you. Have a good day and go Rangers.
When we return, we will hear from Rebel head coach Tyson Larson on the Bear Lake Memorial Hospital Coaches Show. Bear Lake Memorial Hospital, the most caring hospital on earth.
There's nothing better than a yummy, delicious cheeseburger. Except maybe if you add a large raspberry shake and tater tots that are cooked to perfection with just a little extra crunch. That's what you get with every burger at the Crawford Trough in Randolph. There's a full menu to choose from, filled with delicious options that will tickle your taste buds every time. But when you find yourself craving a burger, always choose Crawford Trough. Nothing else compares. The Crawford Trough in Randolph. Stop in today.
So today you guys take on Kemmerer. What are some challenges that they present to you on the field?
I think they'll be fighters, man. I know most of these kids when I taught. So I've coached middle school for a while, and I've done a lot of wrestling, and they're big into wrestling, and they've got a lot of strong physical kids, man. I think they'll come at you. They're players. So I think that's going to be just try to contain and hopefully take care of some of their athletes because they definitely have them.
After 3 8-man football games to start the season, you guys are playing your second 11-man game. Last week was a little sloppy at times, but what do you expect to be better this week now that you've had 1 week of 11-man football under your belt?
I think just that. Hopefully we'll be more sharp. Hopefully we'll, both offensively and defensively, we'll have less penalties, we'll be more sharp and be a little more comfortable and confident in what we're doing.
So today's matchup is another matchup out of state. It's a little bit of a decent travel, but would you say you guys' first few weeks where you've had to travel multiple hours, would you say that has really prepared you guys to go on the road and play a real road-heavy schedule?
Yeah, I think so. I almost would rather play on the road sometimes. It's kind of fun to hopefully go in and steal one from people at their home court. It presents a challenge. I think it helps kids really dig deep to go hard when you don't have the whole crowd on your side. I think it's good for kids to learn resiliency. So, yeah, no, I agree. We've got a long road schedule. Luckily, this one's pretty close, so we'll hopefully have a decent showing and on a fantastic facility. I love coming to Kemmerer to play. They've got a beautiful place here.
What's one thing you want to see out of your kids tonight?
I just think, going back to, I think just be a lot more sharp. Hopefully we can play with confidence and be sharper with what we're doing.
We want to thank Bear Lake Memorial Hospital for sponsoring our coaches show today. Kickoff is right around the corner between the Rebels and the Rangers. Coming up, we'll have the epic recreation keys to the game. You're listening to a Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rich Rebel football on 98.3 FM and online at mylocalradio.com.
In the state where life is elevated, live your life in a higher gear. Cash Honda Yamaha can help you enjoy our beautiful local terrain, whether it's in the valleys, mountains, snow, or water. So get out and enjoy all nature has to offer at a higher speed. Visit Cash Honda Yamaha in Cache Valley to start living your life at your new speed. Visit us in Hyde Park, just north of Logan, Utah.
Signage is a critical part of your business. It helps customers find your front door. Rocky Mountain Sign will provide you with expertly designed signs, LEDs, channel letters, as well as skillfully cut signage using wood, metal, plastic, and other mediums to help your customers find you with high-quality signage. Using the best technology, designs, and installation by Rocky Mountain Sign. Your signage says a lot about your business. Work with the professionals at Rocky Mountain Sign, 243 7th Street in Evanston, Wyoming.
When you drive on the best tires that are rotated, balanced, and inflated properly, you can save money 2 ways. The best tires can reduce wear and tear on your vehicle. That saves you money in the long run. The best tires can also improve your overall miles per gallon. That helps you save every time to fill up at the pump. At Freeway Tire in Evanston, we offer the best tires with the best service for every vehicle. Make sure you're running on the best tires you can. Visit Freeway Tire today, 217 Bear River Drive, Evanston.
As one of the region's most visited websites, MyLocalRadio.com is here to serve you. Catch up on local and regional news and information. Buy, sell, or trade your good used items on the radio classifieds. Check the weather forecast or catch our live coverage of your high school teams in action, all on MyLocalRadio.com. Like us on Facebook so you never miss a giveaway, and visit MyLocalRadio.com today to stream it all live.
Whatever brings you to Evanston, whether it's high school sports, a teaching conference, music festivals, speech and debate, or your job, always book your hotel reservations at the Best Western Dunmar Inn. With 165 ground-level rooms on 10 beautiful acres, the Best Western offers everything you need, including clean, comfortable rooms, a business office, workout room, and a full-service restaurant, plus a complimentary breakfast with every stay. Whenever you're in Evanston, make your hotel reservations with your friends at the Best Western Dunmar Inn.
Welcome back to the pregame show. We are broadcasting live from the Les Schwab Plains Tires broadcast booth. It is time to take a look at our Epic Recreation keys to the game. Make your next vacation epic. Visit epicrecreation.net. And Rob, I'll start with my key to the game, and it's to stop the run. I talked with Coach Jernigan, and he seems like he wants to just run the ball down your throat every single play. That's just something they want to do. They do have the ability to pass, but they seem like they're more focused on trying to wear you down, run the ball every single play. It'll be kind of similar, except with 11 men on the field, to the Gunnison Valley game, where just every play, they want to run, they want to run, they want to run.
I would say my key would be the turnover margin. So far this season, Rich has turned the ball over 4 times, but they've forced 15 turnovers. I don't know many teams in any level of football that could have that kind of a stat. So if the turnover margin goes the way of the Rebels, I'd be happy about that. The other thing is I like to see balance from the offense. You get one-dimensional, and the defense can kind of cue on that. Looks like Carter Hoffman will be the quarterback for tonight's game. We will see Hunter Pace on the defensive side of the ball and maybe in as a receiver. But I want to see a little bit of balance between that passing game and the running game.
And for Carter, he played excellent last night in relief. That is not an easy thing to do, to come in when your starting quarterback gets hurt and try to lead your offense to a comeback. I thought Carter played really well. He handled the offense well, didn't make any mistakes, crucially, which one thing is you're coming in as a backup quarterback, mistakes can kill you, especially if you turn the ball over. Turnovers are poison in football. We all know that, and like you said, the plus 11 turnover margin, that's in big part to the work that Carter Hoffman has done in the game and a half that he's played at quarterback, for the Rebels, just because he played most of the Water Canyon game as well. They didn't turn it over there either.
That is true.
And I want to touch on the balance offensively as well. It's just we'd like to see more Rebels maybe touch the ball. Is that kind of what you're getting at, or just more run-pass balance?
More run-pass balance, I think. It seems like Max Perry got a few more carries in the last matchup than he has early on, but Trey Walker obviously has been the man that has been picking up the yards, and you want to feed the hot hand. And you've got some talented receivers. Jaden Desch makes some great catches, as well as Trey out of the backfield. And if you put Hunter out there as a receiver, I'd be interested to see what he could do. And don't put it beyond the Rebels to do a little bit of trickery. One of the Rebel MOs, I think, from a lot of years ago is that halfback pass or the old hook and ladder. And if you got Hunter as a receiver, he's got the arm, why not give it a shot?
Yeah, there's no better feeling when your starting quarterback's a wide receiver and can throw the ball downfield to another wide receiver. That'll be something to look forward to in this game. But another key to the game is last week we saw Jaden Desch kick a 37-yard field goal. That was an incredible kick, and it looked like it could have been good from further. They tried the 51-yard attempt. I think just watching it again, I think Jaden mishit that. I think he has the leg for about, I'd say 45 comfortably. I think it's the leg that Jaden has. It just depends on if he gets his steps correct and if he makes contact with the ball well.
I did do some research, and I found out that I was wrong in both cases on my guesses last week, and it was actually Stetson Huffaker, who's my neighbor down the street, that made the last field goal on behalf of the Rich Rebels in a game against Altamont. So it wasn't as long ago as I thought.
But it's still been a minute. That's still an impressive kick, and it's still another weapon that the Rebels have. And once again, the key to kicking, I think, for Jaden Desch is his feet. I was watching him in pregame earlier, and when he keeps his feet planted before he goes into the motion to kick the ball, he usually boots it really well. It's when he starts to move his feet instead of going 1-2 or one step, plant, kick. It's when he goes half step, plant, step, kick, when he usually misses his field goals in warm-ups. But he hasn't missed one in a game yet, so it'll be interesting to see what the Rebels' attack is if they do get stalled outside of the red zone.
And on an artificial surface like this, that actually bodes well for a kicking game. And that can be crucial without bringing in too much from my football watching last weekend with the BYU Cougars. Kicking is critical, and it can either sink you or lift you over the top. So,
especially in high school football, if you have a kicker that can consistently make field goals, that is a weapon to have. But another key to the game is the turf. You're playing on AstroTurf. It's a lot of fun. It rained a little bit, so it might still be a little slippery because it rained on my way into Kemmerer. That was almost 3 hours ago. The field might not be completely dry because the sun is out, but it's only 60 degrees outside, so it's not out of the realm of possibility that the field's still wet. So you got to make sure when you're planting, you are breaking down and planting properly. You can't just rely on athleticism. You have to have your technique right on the plants, or else you might just slip out.
It's interesting to see the Rebels on such a wide range of different surfaces this year, all playing football, from the Water Canyon experience to this, to being in the heat in Monticello and at home, and that's a unique football field in and of itself.
Yeah, I can promise you there are no rocks on the field, Rob. I walked it earlier, no rocks. These have been your Epic Recreation keys to the game. Make your next Bear Lake vacation epic with rentals from Epic Recreation. Visit epicrecreation.net or find us on Facebook. You're listening to a Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rebel Football on 98.3 FM and online at mylocalradio.com.
Whether you're kicking up the dust in the hills, making waves down on the lake, or taking advantage of the world's greatest powder, don't just hope to have fun. Take that sled by the handlebars and make your time at Bear Lake epic. Epic Recreation rents equipment and cabins for your vacation fun at beautiful Bear Lake. From watercraft, large and small, to UTVs, sleds, and more, Epic Recreation has it all. On-road, off-road, or out on the Caribbean blue water. Book your next adventure at epicrecreation.net.
Amazing people work at the Bear Lake Memorial Hospital in Montpelier. From the receptionists to the doctors, the x-ray techs to the food service staff, from the phlebotomist to housekeeping and everyone in between. The care you receive can't be matched anywhere else. We really care about your health. We care about you. We work hard to have top quality equipment and facilities and provide a wide range of services so we can serve every patient. When selecting your healthcare providers, choose Bear Lake Memorial Hospital. You'll feel the difference.
At Rich School District, we believe that success motivates individuals, and every student is capable of learning. We believe an effective classroom facilitates learning. We believe in the development of lifelong learners, and we believe that a quality education makes a difference. Student involvement equals student success. Currently, 93% of Rich High students participate in extracurricular activities. Rich School District, providing a quality, well-rounded education for each student.
Nothing makes your kid feel like a superstar more than seeing his or her very own Fathead in the stands. Fathead car decals and yard signs are inexpensive and easy to get at Rocky Mountain Sign in Evanston. Whether it's for the big game or to cheer on the high school band, our children make us proud in so many ways. Show your pride today. Go Rebels! West Star Printing and Rocky Mountain Sign, 243 7th Street, Evanston.
Supporting the Rich Rebels in everything they do. J-Bar Auto and J-Bar Excavation in Randolph provide services to Rich Rebel fans every day. Auto repair, tires, sand, and gravel. J-Bar Auto and J-Bar Excavation on Main Street in Randolph. Stop in today.
A healthy smile improves life in many ways. Fresher breath, increased confidence, and better overall health. Dr. Sean Grohl and his team at Comprehensive Family Dental have been supporting Rich Rebels for over 25 years. Call today and schedule your next appointment. Go Rebels!
This has been today's pregame show broadcast live from the Les Schwab Plains Tires broadcast booth. We are just moments away from today's starting lineups and the Town of Woodruff opening kick. The Town of Woodruff sharing the Rebel pride and wishing you good luck. Mayor Scott Saby, council members Raymond Fransden, Kent Stewart, Millie Bradshaw, Seiko Webb, and clerk Lisa Bell. You're listening to a Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rebel Football on 98.3 FM and online at mylocalradio.com.
So this is the Reserve at Bear Lake, most beautiful place in the world. Come here and find out how you can buy your own Airbnb property and help pay for itself, or just come here and enjoy a second home. Sports courts, pools, hot tubs, access to 200 miles of mountain trails. Brand new homes now starting at $600,000. Quarter shares starting at $250,000. Would like you to invite you to be part of that. Call Gary McKee at Bear Lake Realty at 435-946-8888.
Freeway Tire offers a nationwide service protection plan that covers service parts and labor on select systems, keeping your vehicle on the road. Plus, it includes coverage for towing, lockout service, flat tire changing, fuel, oil, and water delivery service, and jump starts. Knowing that your vehicle is covered at over 50,000 dealer locations nationwide provides that peace of mind wherever you are. Get the details. Visit Freeway Tire and ask about the service protection plan. Freeway Tire, 217 Bear River Drive, Evanston.
Whether you're kicking up the dust in the hills, making waves down on the lake, or taking advantage of the world's greatest powder, don't just hope to have fun. Take that sled by the handlebars and make your time at Bear Lake epic. Epic Recreation rents equipment and cabins for your vacation fun at beautiful Bear Lake. From watercraft, large and small, to UTVs, sleds, and more, Epic Recreation has it all. On-road, off-road, or out on the Caribbean blue water. Book your next adventure at epicrecreation.net.
This presentation on mylocalradio.com is also brought to you in part by Hoover Chiropractic. With over 3 decades of experience, Dr. Todd Hoover can help you with all the chiropractic work you need, plus x-rays, blood work, a weight loss program, and can help you get rid of allergies and migraines. Dr. Todd Hoover with Hoover Chiropractic in Evanston.
In the state where life is elevated, live your life in a higher gear. Cash Honda Yamaha can help you enjoy our beautiful local terrain, whether it's in the valleys, mountains, snow, or water. So get out and enjoy all nature has to offer at a higher speed. Visit Cash Honda Yamaha in Cache Valley to start living your life at your new speed. Visit us in Hyde Park, just north of Logan, Utah.
Taking care of yourself is important through all stages of life. Bear Lake Community Health Center offers a holistic approach to a healthy body and mind that includes education, prevention, and networking. We offer medical, dental, behavioral health, nutrition, and pharmacy services. We accept most insurance, including Medicaid, Medicare, and have a sliding scale discount plan. Choose Bear Lake Community Health Center, 435-946-3660.
Welcome back to the Les Schwab Plains Tires broadcast booth. It is time for our starting lineups, and Rob Leifson is going to bring those to you.
We'll start with the home team, the Kemmerer Rangers. Number 2, Ronnie Prophet. Number 3, Seth Krell. Number 13, Landon Heaps. Number 15, Moises Herrera. Number 21, Riggin Walker. Number 35, Carl Haslam. Number 58, Grayson Kelly. 62, Gabe Emery. 67, Tanner Schramm. Number 79, Timothy Peck. And number 80, Grayson Nielsen. And for the Rebels, it will be Noah Perry, who is another one of those receivers that we talked about earlier that's been making some good catches. Trey Walker, Jaden Desch. Number 8, Carter Hoffman will be the quarterback. Levi Stonehouse, who has been nicked up from last week's game, and he took it a little bit easy in practice this week, but he is suited up, ready to go. 20, Max Perry. Number 58, Jordan Johnson on the line. Talon Pace, Colby Stokes, Jack Bell, and Carson Muirbrook.
And those are your starting lineups. We're going to get to the Crawford Trough first quarter in about 4 minutes of time, as we got 4 minutes left to go in our pregame show before we start the kickoffs. Rebels are lined up. They're running plays, and as we mentioned, Carter Hoffman is at the quarterback position in the warm-up, so likely he's going to start the game for the Rebels. Not saying that Hunter Pace won't play any quarterback at all, but with his knee injury bothering him the last few weeks, he's missed half of last week and then almost all of Water Canyon, except for the 4 or 5 plays they put him in at the end of the half to try to pass the ball. And I talked to Coach Larson about just Hunter's health, and it sounds like they want to do what's best for him because it's his senior year, and if his knee's bothering him, you really hate to put more pressure on it, being the quarterback, touching the ball, making decisions, and taking more hits, because Hunter's a multi-sport athlete. Not that, football isn't important to him, but
yeah, he'll want to be ready for the basketball season. Looks like the Rebels have won the toss and elected to defer, so the Rangers will take the ball first, and the Rebels will be kicking off.
I do like that. Your defense is your better of the two halves when you come offense, defense. Get them out on the field. Let's see if they can make a statement early. The only issue with that is if you don't stop them, then the Rangers make a statement early, and that statement puts you down 7-0. You're listening to a Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rich Rebels football on 98.3 FM and online at mylocalradio.com. We're broadcasting to you live from the Les Schwab Plains Tires broadcast booth.
I'm curious about this start time, Aaron, because usually if you're going to play under the lights, you usually start about 7. But at a 6 o'clock start, you're going to be in the sun, and then you're going to get part of that second half under the lights. That's kind of a change. Not that it makes that much difference, but if you talk to the players, especially the receivers, seeing that ball is a little bit different looking up into the sun versus trying to see it when the lights are on.
That is a good call. But the sun has been there for 1,000,000 years, Rob. It'll be there for 1,000,000 more. As my JV baseball coach Justin Wilson used to say, you're just going to have to deal with it because it's just out there. It's a factor. It'll always be a factor. But as you can see on the camera, you can see some of the shadows where the light fixtures are. You can see across the field. They're going to go to the national anthem. We're going to go silent really quickly for the national anthem.
I will say this about Kemmerer High School. They have a long-standing tradition of a fantastic music program, both in choir and in the band. That was impressive.
Yeah, I was going to say that was a very beautiful rendition of the Star Spangled Banner played for you by the Kemmerer High School Pet Band. So thank you to them for that. That was awesome as we try to get the camera back centered. As looks like we're about to line up and kick it off. This opening kickoff is brought to you by the town of Woodruff. Always sharing the rich Rebel pride. Mayor Scott Saby, council members Raymond Fransden, Kent Stewart, Millie Bradshaw, Seiko Webb, and clerk Lisa Bell. As it'll be the Rebels to kick. Back deep for the Rangers, number 3, Seth Krell, number 21, Riggin Walker. As it'll be Jaden Desch to get us underway here in this Friday night matchup between the Rich Rebels and the Kemmerer Rangers. Once again, we are playing 11-man football today.
You've seen Desch put it to the end zone. You've seen him do squib kicks. You've seen him do a little short pooch kick. You never know what's coming off his foot.
Whistle blows. Desch's arm goes down. He approaches, and he pooches it. That ball will land at about the 25-yard line, where it is picked up by Krell. Krell around the left side gets a hole, is going to get around the corner to the 40, out to about the 50, cuts back, and he is going to be tackled, but the whistle blows. They have him stepping out of bounds at the 46-yard line. Rebels try a pooch kick, and a very good block here on the near side edge gives Krell a big opening, and he runs it out to about the 46-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Rangers. The player to look out for if you are the Rebels on the Rangers side is Roni Profit, Riggin Walker, and Seth Krell. They're more explosive players for the Rangers. As the Rangers come out in the wishbone offense, 2 receivers in the backfield, 1 fullback. They give to Krell up the middle. He navigates his way out to about the 49-yard line, where he is wrapped up by a couple of Rebels as Carter Hoffman's in the vicinity of the area, as well as Levi Stonehouse. Good to see him out on the field making that first play.
And Jaden Desch as well. As we mentioned, Levi got his shoulder banged up against Mountain View last week. Took it easy in the first couple days of practice this week, but suited up, ready to go.
11:20 to go in the first quarter. It is 2nd and 6 for the Rangers. They come out in the wishbone again. Get used to hearing that tonight. This time they give around the outside to Riggin Walker, who is wrapped up, gets about 1 yard, if not, back to the line of scrimmage, as he was wrapped up there by, it looks like, number 60 in white. That is Talon Pace with the tackle.
The one number you will not see today is number 24. That's Riker Hoffman, who received a concussion last week, so protocol is keeping him out. So you got a couple people filling in for his spot this week.
That's something you don't ever want to mess with. The brain injury is scary. Split out wide is number 80, Grayson Nielsen. He leaves the huddle early as with 10:35 to go, Rangers come out. 2 backs in the backfield. Get the snap. They're going to fake it. They're going to pass. Steps up, throws. Has a man open. It's going to fall incomplete, as that was number 35, Carl Haslam, who was open in the flats. The quarterback, Landon Heaps, number 13, was unable to find him. That brings up 4th and 7 for the Rangers near midfield. It'll be interesting to see what the Rangers decide to do, as the Rebels send a couple players back deep for the punt, and the Rangers come out in punt formation. It looks like they will punt.
Max Perry deep for the kick.
Rangers get the snap. The punt is away, and it's a good one, as Perry lets that. It's going to go over his head, bounce into the end zone for a touchback. That was a magnificent boot, as it looked like Bryce Vickery was the one who kicked it, and he kicked it from about the 35-yard line of the Rangers into the end zone. That's a 65-yard punt.
Yeah, well done. But Rebels get a 3-and-out to start the game. You called it at the beginning. You want to put your defense out there. They deferred when they won the coin toss, and defense held strong.
That was a very good defensive possession. They gave up 4 yards on the first play and then stuffed them the next 2. That is what you want if you're head coach Tyson Larson out of your defense. With 10:15 to go, it is 1st and 10 for the Rebels on their own 20. They come out 3 receivers. Perry's the back in the backfield. It's 4 receivers. They send Walker in motion. They're going to hand to him on a counter. He goes around the right-hand side, out to the outside, gets to the 30, out about to the 35, needs to be pushed out of bounds. Trey Walker with a 15-yard gain to start the game. Doesn't get any better to start the offense.
And looks like we got a flag coming in at the end of that as well. I'm not sure what that's for, if there was a late hit out of bounds.
As the officials are going to gather with 10:08 to go here in the Crawford Troth first quarter. As Crawford Troth is the place to eat.
Hunter Pace just came into the huddle and will line up as a receiver.
I don't think the Rebels realize there's a penalty as the whole entire huddle breaks in front of the referee trying to give the press box the official call, and it looks like it's going to be a personal foul against the Rangers. That'll move the ball all the way up to the 50-yard line where the Rebels will have an LSR refrigerated 1st and 10. Need to get the ball to the 40 to pick up another. 10:08 to go in the first quarter. Come out through receiver right. They send Hunter Pace in motion. Hoffman's going to pass. Looks right, throws right, has a man incomplete as Jaden Desch was open in the flat. That goes out of bounds. Bring up 2nd and 10 for the Rebels.
I like the call to mix it up with the pass and the run. Had a couple different receivers, but looked like had a little bit too much mustard on that one from Carter.
There's your balance. We're 50-50 right now, Rob. Now, it's unlikely that a high school football team will stay 50-50 in the run-pass game. We'll get to that after this play. As the Rebels come out with 2 backs in the backfield, they send Walker in motion. They're going to hand to him again around the right side. Cuts up the field out to about the 40 where he's tackled. It looks like he's going to fall forward to the 39-yard line of the Rangers. That'll be 1st and 10 for the Rebels. That's brought to you by LSR Refrigerated with 9:55 to go in the first quarter. So, Rob, what would you say would be the perfect run-pass balance for a high school football team?
Yeah, probably 70-30.
I was going to say close to 65-35, so I think we're on the same track. As the Rebels come out with 2 receivers. Nope, make that 1 receiver to the right as Jaden Desch comes across the field to the left. Walker is the wing back. This time they pitch to Perry up the middle. He's going to bounce to the outside. He's going to rumble out across the 40. Did a good job there to get back to the original line of scrimmage.
Yeah, it looks like somebody had got some penetration into the backfield, and he did a good job of bouncing out to the outside to at least make it so that it wasn't a loss on the play.
We're going to be real lenient and give Max Perry 1 yard on the play. That'll bring up 2nd down and 9 for the Rebels. As they come out 2 wing backs as Trey Walker's on the near side, except they send Noah Perry in motion. Noah Perry gets the ball, almost got to the outside, but that was a tremendous play there from number 13, Landon Heaps, the quarterback, as he filled that hole. If Heaps doesn't make that play, Noah Perry's running for a while. That'll bring up 3rd down and 8.
I'd watch for that play later on in the game.
As we got to get our live cam first quarter up, as we got to reset the score. As we got 8:40 to go in the first quarter. It is tied 0-0 in quarter 1 between the Kemmerer Rangers and the Rich Rebels. Hoffman drops back to pass, looks, has Walker on the slant. Walker makes the catch. He's going to keep rumbling. He's out across the 35 to about the 33. That'll bring up a more manageable 4th down and about 4 for the Rebels with 8:17 to go in the first quarter.
Just got an update from Glenn Smith, who is in Altamont tonight, watching the Lady Rebels in some volleyball, and the freshmen have won in 3 sets, and the JV are just getting started.
The Rebels are a little bit out of field goal range here as they look like they're going to go for it. They come out 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Trey Walker's in the slot. Max Perry's the back in the backfield. As Hoffman's under center. Gets the snap, and a offensive lineman on the Rebels line. It looked like they were trying for a hard count. One of the offensive linemen fell forward. That's going to be a false start penalty against the Rebels. That'll back them up 5 yards.
Yeah, that's going to probably require a change in the play call, but I think Carson Muirbrook was a little bit jumpy on that one.
See what the Rebels decide to do is they bring on Hunter Pace and take Levi Stonehouse out of the game. They'll bring up 4th down in about 9 for the Rebels. As the Rebels are going to go for it. Hoffman under center. Perry's the back in the backfield. Trips to the right. Hoffman gets the snap. Rolls to the right. Back to Perry as that's read very well by the Kemmerer defense. Max Perry keeps going, but he's going to be wrapped up and tackled down for about a 5-yard gain where the Kemmerer Rangers will take over on downs. 1st and 10 for the Rangers. It's a good play call. Good effort there from Max Perry, but that was read wonderfully by, it looked like number 80, Grayson Nielsen, as he makes the initial stop. It'll be 1st and 10 with 7:20 to go here in the Crawford Troth first quarter. The Rangers will take over.
And I'll apologize to Carson later, but he was not the one guilty of that false start. That was 58, and we don't have him on the roster.
Very convenient. As they snap, they give it to Riggin Walker around the edge, and he's going to be tackled for maybe half a yard gain, as the Rebels' interior line does a very good job there, keeping contained and forcing Walker back upfield. They get the tackle. They'll bring up 2nd down and about 9 for the Rangers.
Credit Jack Bell on that one, number 65. He tripped him up in the backfield.
It's very interesting that the wide receiver, they switch out Grayson Nielsen and Tanner Sandberg, but they don't go into the huddle.
Probably catching the play from the sideline, I would guess, but that makes it tough for an audible.
Rangers snap the ball. They give it up the middle, and that is nicely done there by the interior line of the Rebels, and Hunter Pace there to make the stop. That's another 1-yard gain, bringing up 3rd and 8. The Rebels' run defense has been very good today so far.
Give credit to the Pace brothers on that one, Talon and Hunter both.
6:22 to go in the first quarter. We are tied 0-0 on the Station on Main scoreboard, as the Rangers are facing 3rd and 8 from their own 41-yard line. They break the huddle in the wishbone formation again.
I would anticipate them putting the ball in the air on this one.
Heaps pitches it to Krell around the corner, and he's going to be stopped short of a first down. It'll bring up 4th down and about 3 for the Rangers. Another, once again, decision time here for the Rangers. They're on their own side of the field. They punted last time. We'll see if they decide to go for it.
Tackle on that play made by Kason Johnson, number 15.
Kason Johnson will be a key player in today to try to fill the void that was left by Riker Hoffman's injury, as they play very similar positions, and it'll be big for Johnson to have a good game. He did a very good job there wrapping up and tackling the ball carrier. As
it looks like the Rangers are going to go for it.
It's 4th and 3 with 5:54 to go here in the Crawford Troth first quarter. Heaps under center. They send it back in motion. As we're waiting, and we are going to get a timeout called by the Kemmerer Rangers.
They were trying the hard count, and it didn't work.
Good job there by the Rebels defense not to jump off sides, but you are listening to a Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rich Rebels football, on 98.3 FM and online at mylocalradio.com. We'll be back after this.
There's nothing better than a yummy, delicious cheeseburger. Except maybe if you add a large raspberry shake and tater tots that are cooked to perfection with just a little extra crunch. That's what you get with every burger at the Crawford Trough in Randolph. There's a full menu to choose from, filled with delicious options that will tickle your taste buds every time. But when you find yourself craving a burger, always choose Crawford Trough. Nothing else compares. The Crawford Trough in Randolph. Stop in today.
As the Kemmerer Rangers face 4th and 2, they're going to send the punter out there again. It looks like it's 21, Riggin Walker, who punted. He's actually going to fake. He's going to run, but he's going to boot it. Not going to get a very good kickoff into the hands of Stonehouse. Stonehouse is going to run across the field at the 40 as the Rebels nearly got to that one. Good job there from Riggin Walker just to be able to get that punt off.
Trey Walker putting the pressure on the punter.
Little Walker on Walker crime there, as the Rebels will start from their own 42-yard line. Good hands there from Levi Stonehouse, because if he doesn't catch that ball, the way that ball was spinning, it looks like that's going to bounce towards the Rebels' end zone, and you never know when you're blocking if that ball could hit a Rebel.
Yep, that's the danger.
You just rather catch it and just down it. Rebels come out. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Send Walker in motion. They're going to give to Perry up the middle, as he's going to drag the pile for about 2 yards. Max Perry keeps his legs going. Forward progress will have him closer to a 4-yard gain, as heck of a job there for Max Perry to keep his legs going. Eventually he got pushed back, but it took about the entire Rangers sideline to push Max Perry back on that play. 5:23 to go here in the Crawford Trough first quarter. Rebels break the huddle. They'll come out with 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. With Max Perry the back in the backfield, they send Walker in motion again. They're going to give to Perry up the middle, except they fake, run the option. Carter Hoffman cuts up the field, gets out to about the 50 after running that ball around the edge. That's going to bring up 3rd down and about 1 for the Rebels, maybe 2. That's the strength of the Rebels, is running that option play, especially with Carter Hoffman in the game, who's maybe a little faster than Hunter Pace, but he makes really good decisions on that option.
He does.
He comes out under center. They send Noah Perry in motion. They're going to give it to Noah up the middle. And the first down marker is right on line with me, and it looks like Noah Perry got to it.
Yeah, the referee on the far side of the field is way ahead of that first down marker, and they're going to give it to him.
That's going to be an LSR refrigerated 1st and 10 for the Rebels. With 4:32 to go here in the Crawford Trough first quarter, the Rebels and the Rangers tied 0-0. I'm Aaron Poling along with Rob Leifson, your voices of the Rich Rebels. As the Rebels break the huddle, 2 receivers right. They send Stonehouse all the way out to the left-hand side, wide out. They're going to send Noah Perry in motion. They give it to him again on the counter. He's going to go around the right-hand side, out across the 45-yard line to about the 44, where it looks like it'll be 2nd down and 6 for the Rebels.
That's a new play coming out of the playbook. We haven't seen that this year.
It's a little bit of a counter of the play they made on 3rd down before the 4th down false start penalty, where they had Perry come around the near end. This time they had him counter, cut back to the far end. They pick up 4 yards there. Bring up 2nd down and 6 for the Rebels with 3:49 to go in the first quarter. Hoffman comes out under center as Hunter Pace is in the game as a back. Hoffman under center. Send Walker in motion. They pitch it to Max Perry. Perry's going to get around the outside, out across the 40-yard line to the 35, where he's going to run into Seth Krell and keep his legs going. It takes a couple more Rangers takes Max Perry down. Max Perry's running with a purpose tonight as he is pumping his legs. Him and Krell had a battle there at the sideline.
You just saw the personality of, we got a holding penalty against the Rebels. You just saw Max Perry's personality right there, because several backs would have just went to the sidelines and taken that one out of bounds, but he just kept going.
That's not Max Perry. Talking to Max Perry, he's a football player. He loves football. He's a football junkie, first of all. But we got a holding penalty against the Rebels, and that play is not going to count. So all that leg pumping for Max Perry for nothing, as that run is erased on the penalty. They'll bring up 2nd down and about 17 for the Rebels. Ball on the near hash. Rebels come out with 2 receivers to the right. Receiver on the left is Hunter Pace. They send Trey Walker in motion. They're going to run the same play. Max Perry's going to run into the pile this time, and he's going to get pushed back. That'll bring up 3rd down and 17 for the Rebels. As penalties will kill you in football, especially holding calls on the offense. Picking up 10 yards in 3 plays is hard enough. Picking up 17 in 2 plays is even harder. So let's see what the Rebels draw up here, as it's 3rd down and about 16 as they give Max Perry a yard on that run. 2:39 to go in the first quarter. We are still tied 0-0. As the Rebels break the huddle, they have 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Hoffman under center. Max Perry is the back in the backfield in the halfback spot. Hoffman's going to roll right, throw to Noah Perry. Noah Perry's going to be hit immediately. What a play there by, it looks like, number 21, Riggin Walker.
Great open field tackle. Got a timeout called by the Rebels.
And with that,
There's nothing better.
We're going to go to a commercial break. You're listening to the Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rich Rebel Football on 98.3 FM and online at mylocalradio.com. We'll be back after this.
There's nothing better than a yummy, delicious cheeseburger. Except maybe if you add a large raspberry shake and tater tots that are cooked to perfection with just a little extra crunch. That's what you get with every burger at the Crawford Trough in Randolph. There's a full menu to choose from, filled with delicious options that will tickle your taste buds every time. But when you find yourself craving a burger, always choose Crawford Trough. Nothing else compares. The Crawford Trough in Randolph. Stop in today.
Welcome back to the Les Schwab Plains Tires broadcast booth. Listen to the Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rich Rebels Football on 98.3 FM and online at mylocalradio.com. 2:07 left to go in the Crawford Trough first quarter. Station on main scoreboard reads the Rebels 0, the Rangers 0. Rebels face a 4th and 18, and they're going to punt it here. As this is probably the decision every time on 4th and 18. As Dash gets the snap, punts it, that ball is going to land at about the 24-yard line, bounce out of bounds. Dash standing on his own 35. releases that punt to the 24. No return, so there's a net of about 24 to the 35. It's about a 40-yard punt there for Desch. That's going to bounce out of bounds. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Rangers on their own 23-yard line. This is the worst starting field position for the Rangers of the game. As the penalty comes back to haunt the Rebels offense, but the Rangers will come out 1st and 10, 2:07 to go in the first quarter. Split backs in the backfield. They're going to hand to 21. That is Riggin Walker. Walker is going to fall forward for about 2 yards as he was wrapped up there by number 20, Max Perry.
Yeah, he dragged Max on that one.
That'll be a 2-yard gain. They'll bring up 2nd and 8 for the Rangers. As this time, if you notice, one of the receivers will go to the huddle.
Well, he told the play to the other receiver on his way to the huddle, so both of them are up on what's happening.
Starting to wonder if maybe that was a key that the Rebels could key in on, that if they don't talk, then maybe it's a pass, or if they go to the huddle, it's a pass.
Ball's on the ground.
Ball is fumbled on the snap. A preliminary indication shows that the Rangers fell on the snap. They're going to lose about a yard on the play. That'll bring up 3rd down and 9 for the Rebels defense. 1:10 to go in the Crawford-Troth first quarter. 0-0 tie on the station on main scoreboard. Bring up 3rd and 9, and if you're the Rangers, just by talking to their coach, I don't know if this is exactly the position they want to be in. 3rd down and long isn't their strong suit, but let's see what the Rangers draw up here. Heaps is under center. 3 receivers to the right, 1 back in the backfield. They're going to roll right and pass, and Max Perry's going to chase Heaps, as it's Carson Muirbrook as well. He gets to the outside and is going to run out of bounds short of the 1st down, as it was Perry and Muirbrook who gave chase. They'll bring 4th down and 3. Let's see what the Rangers decide to do. Riggin Walker's on the field walking back to the 15-yard line. Looks like the Rangers are going to punt. But Walker did that rolling Aussie-style punt last time because he was being chased, but if you're the Rebels, you have to be aware of a fake here. It is 4th and 2. And we're going to get a timeout called by the Rangers sideline. They're going to talk it over, but we're going to stay here. You're listening to a Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rebels football on 98.3 FM and online at mylocalradio.com. As we're zoomed in on some of the faithful of the Rebels crowd that has decided to come here for the football game, is they had a couple choices today on your Friday that they could have went down to Altamont and watched the volleyball team, as the freshmen won the first game of the day. That should bode well for the rest of the night. Hopefully the JV and the varsity girls can pull out another win. That would be 5-0 for the Rebels varsity team in region play if they win tonight, with a very big stranglehold on first place in the division.
I've been impressed. First quarter's just about done. You got 40 seconds left, but the Rebels have been able to hold the Kemmerer Rangers to just 19 total yards of offense. Unfortunately, the Rebels haven't done much better with 50, but a penalty, that holding penalty, kind of stalled that last drive, but they're going to get a chance to flip sides of the field and see if that makes a difference with the sunshine.
As Max Perry is deep, and I mean deep, to return. He's standing on his own 25, as Walker standing on his 25. That's a high snap. This punt is not as good as his first, so that ball is going to land on the Rebel side, take a Rebels bounce all the way back to the Kemmerer Rangers.
44, 43.
That's a huge break for the Rebels, as that wasn't a very good punt, as Riggin Walker shown that he's got a really good leg. That's going to bring up 1st and 10 with 31.3 to go here in the Crawford-Troth first quarter. 0-0 on the station on main scoreboard. I'm Aaron Pulling. This is Rob Leifson. Thank you for joining us tonight on a beautiful Friday night for football. It'll be 1st and 10 Rebels on the 44-yard line of the Kemmerer Rangers. Best field position of the day for the Rebels.
Took the words right out of my mouth.
They send Noah Perry in motion. They hand to Max. Max is going to cut back to the right to no avail, as he is wrapped up by about 4 Rangers on that play. We'll bring up 2nd down and 10 for the Rebels.
Looked like Owen Barton, number 50, was one of them in there on that play.
The Rebels are pointing to the sideline, and it looks like head coach Tyson Larson is going to let the clock run out. They're going to talk it over during the timeout, but that will do it for us here in the Crawford-Troth first quarter. This first quarter of action was brought to you by the Crawford Trough, the place to eat and drink. The station on main scoreboard reads the Rebels 0, the Rangers 0. You're listening to a Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rich Rebel Football on 98.3 FM and online at mylocalradio.com.
This presentation on mylocalradio.com is also brought to you in part by Hoover Chiropractic. With over 3 decades of experience, Dr. Todd Hoover can help you with all the chiropractic work you need, plus x-rays, blood work, a weight loss program, and can help you get rid of allergies and migraines. Dr. Todd Hoover with Hoover Chiropractic in Evanston.
Welcome back to the Les Schwab Plains Tires broadcast booth. You're listening to a Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rebels Football on 98.3 FM and online at mylocalradio.com. The station on main scoreboard reads the Rebels 0, the Rangers 0 as well, as we're starting the T7 Propane second quarter. For all your propane needs, call T7 Propane 435-793-4208. Rebels come out, 2 receivers to the left. They send Perry in motion. They're going to hand to Trey Walker on the counter, up the middle, out across the 45, cuts back to the 30, runs a couple guys over, carries Seth Krell, a 3-on-3 crime there. That's going to be a LSR refrigerated 1st and 10, as we talked about during the break. A little bit of trickery there for the Rebels out of the break.
And you can credit Hunter Pace on that block on the outside to try to help that play get downfield, something that doesn't go noticed very often. But I appreciate Hunter being willing to do whatever the coaches have asked him to do.
As Hoffman comes out under center. Hunter Pace is wide out to the right. 2 receivers right. They send Noah Perry in motion. Fake to Max. They're going to pitch to Perry on the option. He gets out to about the 35-yard line where he's hauled down there nicely by number 80. That's Grayson Nielsen, who's a little slow to get up. Does get up, but Noah Perry picks up 4 on the option play. Good read there from Carter Hoffman.
Yep, good pitch.
It'll bring up there's 11:30 to go here in the T7 Propane second quarter, 0-0 on the scoreboard as we update the scoreboard to say quarter 2. 2nd and 7 for the Rebels on the Ranger 25-yard line. Hoffman comes out under center. 2 receivers to his left, 2 to the right. They send Trey Walker in motion. They're going to hand to him on a counter up the middle as a nice push from the offensive line allows Trey Walker to carry that ball all the way out to about the 20-yard line.
Bring out about 3rd and 4.
That was a good push there from the offensive line, as none of the interior linemen of the Rangers were able to touch Trey Walker until about 4 yards down the field. It'll bring up 3rd down and 4 with 10:47 to go in the T7 Propane second quarter. Hoffman comes out under center. 3 receivers to his right, 1 to the left. As Hoffman hands to Perry up the middle, and Perry's got room to run. Makes a cut out across the 10 to the 5. Touchdown, Rebels! Max Perry with a 20-yard touchdown run as the Rebels got into the red zone. They punch it in on one play. 6-0 Rebels on the station on main scoreboard. 10:28 to go in the second quarter. Rebels take a 6-0 lead as they're going to go for the extra point attempt.
Yeah, it looks like splitting those receivers out kind of strung the Ranger defense out a little bit, and that hole opened up and Max was gone.
It's going to be, looks like Trey Walker to kick as he ties a little band around his foot with Hunter Pace holding. Of course, the Rebels have a couple different players that can kick. Snaps good, holds good, kick on the way is blocked by the Rangers. That's going to keep the score 6-0, but with 10:28 to go in the T7 Propane second quarter, the station on main scoreboard reads the Rebels 6, the Rangers 0. You're listening to a Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rich Rebel Football on 98.3 FM and online at mylocalradio.com. We'll be back after this.
Whether it's for your home, your ranch, your equipment, or your business, when you need propane, count on the best. T7 Propane in Woodruff. The safe and professional team at T7 Propane offers quality product and the most responsive propane service in the area, so you can enjoy the affordability, reliability, and efficiency of propane. For heating, cooking, grilling, motor fuel, and more, count on the team at T7 for your personal or business propane needs. 435-793-4208.
Welcome back to Les Schwab Plains Tires broadcast booth. You're listening to Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rich Rebel Football on 98.3 FM and online on mylocalradio.com. Jaden Desch tees the ball up, and he's going to kick away the town of Woodruff kickoff. As Desch's hands in the air, waiting on the official signal. Whistle blows. Desch approaches, and he kicks this one off to about the 10-yard line where it is fielded by Roney Profit. Excuse me, that's Riggin Walker, who gets out across the 30 and is tripped up out of bounds by Jaden Desch, who's getting up and runs over a teammate on accident. Desch with the kick and the tackle. The Rangers will get the ball at the 40-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Rangers. I don't know if Jaden Desch quite got all of that one, as they're actually going to spot the ball. Oh, never mind. That ref wasn't spotting. He was just trying to get the ball off the field. It is the 40-yard line. We're the 1st and 10 for the Rangers. 10:21 to go in the second quarter. That's brought to you by T7 Propane. The station on main scoreboard reads the Rebels 6, the Rangers 0, as the Rebels defense has been the story of this game so far, Rob.
They've done well, keeping the Rangers from 1 first down.
Rangers come out in the wishbone. They're going to hand to Riggin Walker, who's going to be wrapped up by, looks like Max Perry. It's a 2-0. Yep, Max Perry on the ground as he makes a nice tackle there. Walker picks up 2 on the play, 2nd down and 8. So far, the longest offensive play for the Rangers has been 4 yards, Rob. I would say that's very good.
That's great defense.
But that's only 1 quarter of defense, as there's 9:54 left to go in the T7 Propane second quarter. The Rebels defense needs to keep it up as the Rangers come out in the wishbone again. As they fake the handoff, they're going to have a Walker on the reverse as he's going to rumble forward to about the 48-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Rangers as the announcers curse.
Broadcast curse just got you, Aaron.
It did. But it's hard to expect a team to hold a team to no first downs all game, in fairness. That'd be a Herculean effort from the Rebels defense. 9:34 to go in the second quarter as they reset the chains. 1st and 10 Rangers from the Rebel 46-yard line. They come out in the wishbone. Excuse me, they come out with 3 receivers staggered, 3 running backs staggered. Heaps gets the snap, hands to the deep back, and he is going to be wrapped up there quickly by the Rebels, Jack Bell. As Jack Bell causes some havoc on that offensive line. That's a gain of 1, 2nd and 9.
Jack wrapped him up and took him backwards.
9:03 to go in the T7 Propane second quarter. The Rebels lead on the station on main scoreboard 6-0 over the Rangers. Rangers are marching down the field, though, 2nd and 9 for the Rangers. As they walk up to the line of scrimmage, they have 2 backs to the right of the line of scrimmage. They're going to hand to Walker on the reversal, and he's going to keep fighting for about 6 yards on the run to about the 40-yard line, bring up 3rd and 4, as Riggin Walker did not want to go down on that play. Very similar to Max Perry on the Rebels offense. 6, a 3rd down and 5 for the Rangers. It's actually a 3rd down and 4. But let's see what the Rangers draw up here. They've ran a couple of counters here in this possession. As they come out, the lone back is Roney Profit. They come out in the same formation they did last play, except to the left side. They hand this time to Kreil, who has to cut back up the middle. And it looks like he's going to be short of the 1st down. It'll bring up 4th and 1. And you have to think the Rangers are going for it here.
Yep. Hunter Pace, part of that tackle. I didn't see who the other Rebel was on that one. That's a lineup or a formation you see a little bit from the Duchesne Eagles. that the Rebels are very familiar with.
It's a good job there from the Rebels to keep contained, as that play looks like it was designed to go outside. Rangers come out in the wishbone. Rebels need to watch the ball here, as they're going to go for a quarterback sneak. They need to get to the 41-yard line. They're out across. Excuse me, they need to get to the 34-yard line. They're out across. They need to get to the 36. They're out to the 34. That'll be 1st and 10 for the Rangers. Rebels rotate their defensive linemen as
Talon Pace comes in for Jack Bell.
Give Jack Bell a little bit of a breather, as the Rangers have had the ball for quite a bit. 7:10 to go in the T7 Propane second quarter. Rangers come out with 3 backs in the backfield to the right side of the ball. They fake the give. They're going to give to Walker, and Walker's wrapped up there by Trey Walker and Max Perry. Good play there by the combination of the two seniors, as they're going to tackle Walker for a loss on the play, as that's Walker for the Rangers. Walker for the Rebels makes the tackle along with Max Perry. Bring up 2nd down and 12 for the Rebels. Excuse me, for the Rangers, for the Rebels defense, I should say. 6:37 to go in the T7 Propane second quarter. 6-0 Rebels on the Station on Main scoreboard. 2nd down and 12 for the Rangers as they break the huddle. Come out with the back spread across, one on each side, and a fullback directly behind the quarterback. They're going to pass as Heaps is going to keep it around the right side out to about the 22-yard line, excuse me, the 18-yard line, as he's out of bounds. That looked like it was a design quarterback keeper. Done very well there by the Rangers. That'll be a 1st and 10 for the Rangers.
Kason Johnson, number 15, with the tackle. Carter Hoffman on the chase, but he got that corner and he was gone.
It'll bring up 1st and 10 for the Rangers from the Rebel 19-yard line.
Looks like the Rangers have been pulling a few more different plays out of the old playbook than what we saw in that first quarter and having a lot more success.
6:10 to go in the T7 Propane second quarter. They haven't started the clock yet. It should have started once the sticks were set, but the Rangers walk to the line of scrimmage. They come out 2 backs to the right of the line of scrimmage, 1 fullback directly behind the quarterback, 1 receiver split out to the right. They're going to hand to Walker coming around the near side. Excuse me, that's not Walker. That is number 3,
Seth
Krell, who's going to knife forward for about 5 yards to bring up 2nd down and 5.
Made a nice cutback on that one, or he would have been tackled for a loss.
Looks like the adjustment the Rangers have made is instead of trying to get to the corner, they're instead kick-out blocking the Rebels' end, and they're going to cut off the back of that blocker. They've done it a few times to some pretty good success on this drive. 2nd and 5 for the Rangers. Come out, a little bit of a wing T formation with 1 running back staggered far to the right. Heaps gets the snap, hands to Krell. Krell is going to be wrapped up immediately there by, looks like, Noah Perry for a loss of 1, as an interior lineman got in there as well. Noah Perry set the edge and got the shoestring tackle. 3rd down and 6, 5:03 to go in the second quarter.
Looks like Levi Stonehouse in on that as well. A little bit of a blitz from the Rebel defense. You haven't seen much of a passing game, so you might as well fill the box.
They'll bring up 3rd and 6 for the Rangers on the Rebel 15-yard line. Rangers need to get the ball to the Rebel 9 to pick up a 1st down. 4:41 to go in the T7 Propane second quarter. They come out with 2 running backs to the right of the line of scrimmage. Heaps under center. He's going to drop back to pass. Throw immediately, and that is broken up by Noah Perry and Carter Hoffman. Excuse me, that was Carter Hoffman on the breakup. What a play there. That would have been 6 for the Rangers.
Here I call it. They haven't seen a passing game, so what do? They pass. But you can credit Jaden Dash on the backside with a lot of pressure coming from the outside on the quarterback. He had to get rid of that in a hurry.
That'll bring up 4th and 6 for the Rangers with 4:27 to go in the T7 Propane second quarter. The Rebels lead 6-0 on the Station on Main scoreboard. This could be a huge stop for the Rebels defense.
I agree. 1 play right here.
See what the Rangers come up with. The Rebels have to watch the ball. You want to be aggressive, but you can't be over-aggressive and give them 5 yards. Snaps off. Heaps is going to throw as he's being chased by Perry. Max Perry's going to get to him, wrap him up, and sack him. Max Perry makes the play on 4th down. Turnover on downs. Rebel ball. That turnover is brought to you by the town of Garden City. Max Perry, the senior, steps up, makes a play. And with 4:20 to go here in the T7 Propane second quarter, the Rebels will take over on downs at their own 21-yard line. 1st and 10, the Rebels.
Yeah, about 4.5 minutes left to go in the halftime. Love to see the Rebels get on the board again, because guess who's going to get the second half kickoff?
The old Bill Belichick special, score before half and then get the ball back to score again. In theory, sounds pretty easy, huh, Rob, when I say it? Yeah.
Pretty easy to call from up here. I can tell them what to do.
I was going to say it's pretty easy in my super comfortable chair. But the Rebels have 80 yards to go to find the goal line with 4:20 to go. Their last drive ended in a touchdown. I think they did a very, very good possession. We're going to get a timeout called by the Rebels. They're going to want to talk about it. And with that, we're going to go to the Gare Bear fan cam.
That's about as close as we can get from this distance on your Rebel fans who are in the sun for a little bit longer.
It's funny how that usually works, Rob. Tonight's fan cam is brought to you by Bear Lake Realty, your home and real estate investment experts. Whether you're looking for a beachfront property, a mountain retreat, year-round living, or investment properties, call Gary McKee at Bear Lake Realty. Once again, call Gary McKee at Bear Lake Realty. As we got a pretty full crowd over there. I mean, I know the stands fits about 17 people. It's funny how high school football teams usually put the opposing fans in the sun. Then they also give them, I wouldn't even say half the bleachers. This is about a third of the bleachers.
Well, I will say there are a few Rebel fans below us that are over here in the shade, and unfortunately we can't catch them on camera, but not a bad decision to stay out of the sunshine.
I mean, we're doing it. One thing about broadcasting, broadcaster's privilege is we're usually never in the sun unless you're in a water canyon. Then you're standing in 100-degree weather. As the Rebels come out, trips to the right, Hoffman's going to throw right away, bubble screen to Desch. Desch cuts it up field, goes to the outside, tries to cut back, and he's going to go nowhere as Jaden Desch tried to dance a little too much in the backfield. That's going to bring up 2nd down and 10 for the Rebels.
Trey Walker trying to make the blocks on that outside, but I think he was outnumbered about 3-1, and that doesn't bode well.
It'll bring up 2nd down and 10 for the Rebels with 3:55 to go here in the T7 Propane second quarter. See what the Rebels draw up here. 2nd down and 10. Much like the Rangers, the Rebels don't necessarily want to be in 2nd and long as they have Walker, the lone back, in the backfield. 2 receivers to the right. They're going to run the option as Hoffman will cut upfield out across the 30 to about the 33, where he is pushed out of bounds, but that'll be enough for the LSR Refrigerated. 1st and 10 for the Rebels, and more importantly, it stops the clock for the offense. Good run there from Hoffman, and when he was about to get tackled, he stepped out of bounds. We praised Max Perry for not going out of bounds, but knowing the situation was a good idea for Hoffman to get out of bounds.
It was. Looks like they were giving Max Perry a little bit of a rest on that set because Drake West, number 23, was the other back in the backfield and is still in the ball game.
Hoffman comes out under center. He's got trips to his left. Walker, the back in the backfield. They're going to run option the other way. They pitch to Walker. Walker makes a move to the outside, and he's tripped up. Nicely done there on the outside by number 13, Landon Heaps. Quarterback making some plays on defense. That'll be a loss for the Rebels, 2nd and 12.
Yeah, he doesn't make that one, and I think Walker's going to get at least the 1st down, if not more.
2:56 to go here in the second quarter. Rebels lead 6-0 on the Station on Main scoreboard as Max Perry and Hunter Pace both check into the game.
We've talked about it in the 8-man, but there you see another example of a solo tackle in space. Well done by number 13.
Rebels taking their time in the huddle. 2:35 to go in the T7 Propane second quarter. Rebels 6, Rangers 0 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Come out, trips to the right. They send Walker in motion, fake the pitch, hand to Max Perry. Perry's going to rumble forward out across the 35-yard line as he bounced off a couple of would-be tacklers. That'll bring up 3rd and 5. Nice run there from Max Perry to set up a 3rd and shorter for the Rebels, 2:07 to go in the T7 Propane second quarter. Big 3rd down here for the Rebels to keep the offense on the field. They line up 2 receivers to each side of the field. They send Noah Perry in motion. They're going to hand to Perry. Perry breaks a tackle, gets around to the edge where he is pushed out of bounds by number 80, Grayson Nielsen. Noah Perry dove to try to get as forward as possible, but it looked like he stepped out before he dove. That's going to bring up 4th and 4. 1:48 to go, and we'll see what the Rebels decide to do.
Number 67, Tanner Schramm, was in the backfield on that one that caused the havoc, and it was good to break the tackle, but that one was not going to get the edge with that delay.
It's going to bring up 4th and about 3 for the Rebels.
I like the aggressiveness of Coach Larson, but with only 148, with still 148 on the clock, you wouldn't want to give the Rangers the ball at the 40-yard line.
He's showing the ultimate faith in his offense and his defense at this moment. But the Rebels do a very good job of the hard count. Let's see if the Rebels decide to do that. As Hoffman's under center. And we are going to get a timeout called by the Rebels. I think that's what they were going to try to do, try to draw the Rangers off sides. And with that, we're going to stay here. You're listening to a Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rich Rebels football on 98.3 FM and online at mylocalradio.com.
Got my update from Altamont, from Glenn Smith. The JV lost the last set, and they are down 2-1 now, starting the 4th set and trailing in the 4th set.
That is your update, or your out-of-town scoreboard update for the Rebels volleyball team. But you're listening to a Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rich Rebel football on 98.3 FM and online at mylocalradio.com. The station on main scoreboard reads the Rebels 6, the Rangers 0. This has been a defensive struggle so far, as the Rebels defense has pitched a shutout in the first half. And it looks like they're going to get an opportunity to be on the field again, as the Rangers are going to get the ball back to send Jaden Desch out to punt. But coming out of a timeout on 4th down, you always have to, if you're the defensive team, watch for the fake punt. And it looks like the Rangers are going to sell out to – they were initially going to sell out to stop the fake, but Seth Krell will back up to his own 20-yard line as Desch gets the snap, punts it, and that's going to land on the Rebel side of the field, as that ball will bounce and roll to about the 48-yard line. Jaden Desch is beside himself as he punted that ball off the side of his foot. That'll bring up 1st and 10 for the Rangers on the Rebel side of the field. Not much you can do now if you're Jaden Desch. You got to shake that off. And the state leader in interceptions, maybe they're going to pass the ball. Let's go make a play, Jaden.
Now, the Rangers have already used a couple timeouts for the same purpose that the Rebels did, trying to draw somebody off sides on 4th down. So they only have one timeout, if my numbers are correct.
It'll be 1st and 10 for the Rangers on the Rebel 48-yard line. Come out in the wishbone. Heaps is going to fake the handoff. Gets to Reagan Walker around the edge. Trey Walker diving tackle to no avail. Levi Stonehouse is there to make him cut back upfield. Jaden Desch finishes the play. But that'll be 1st and 10 for the Rangers, but more importantly, the clock will stop until they get the chain set. As it'll be 1st and 10 Rangers from the 36-yard line of the Rebels. As the official is trying to get the clock to wind, the Rangers score clock is a little slow on that. Finally, it starts and they can get back to play. 1:27 to go in the second quarter. Rangers come out in the wishbone. They go back to Walker again up the middle, and he's going to be stopped there by Trey Walker. As that'll bring up 2nd down and 3 for the Rangers. 1:10 to go in the second quarter. Rangers are huddling up on offense, not showing a whole lot of urgency as the clock winds down to about a minute to go in the second quarter. Rangers trips to the right. Heaps under center. Snaps the ball. He's going to throw. He rolls to the right. Max Perry's there to sack him again. Max Perry with another big play for the Rebels. And now the question is, if you're the Rebels, do you call timeout? It does not look like they're going to. The clock is going to wind. This will bring up 3rd down in about 14 for the Rangers. They have to get the ball to the Rebels 36-yard line for a 1st down. They look content to let the clock wind and maybe try a Hail Mary. But once again, Max Perry steps up and makes a huge play. That's his 2nd sack of the ball game.
Made the play on 4th down on the drive before, and once again in the backfield.
9 seconds to go here in the T7 Propane second quarter.
And we got a false start on the Rangers. Had about 3 guys moving in the backfield on that one.
All 3 of the officials that can call that. But I don't think it makes much of a difference. It just depends if Heaps can make the throw, if they're going to go to the end zone. We'll see what the Rangers decide to do. If you're the Rebels, you can give up, 45 yards on this play. Just don't allow him in the end zone.
He wants to wind, and it's going to run the clock out. That'll be half.
So that'll do it for us here in the first half. That was the T7 Propane second quarter. Our second quarter of action, once again, has been brought to you by T7 Propane in Woodruff for all your propane's need. The score at the end of the first half on the station on main scoreboard is the Rebels 6, the Rangers 0. We'll be back with the Lutz Construction halftime show featuring first half highlights brought to you by the Rich County government. And we'll have our Elling Ford Brothers standout student interview with Trey Walker. You're listening to the Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rich Rebel Football on 98.3 FM and online at mylocalradio.com.
Whether it's for your home, your ranch, your equipment, or your business, when you need propane, count on the best. T7 Propane in Woodruff. The safe and professional team at T7 Propane offers quality product and the most responsive propane.
Nothing makes your kid feel like a superstar more than seeing his or her very own Fathead in the stands. Fathead car decals and yard signs are inexpensive and easy to get at Rocky Mountain Sign in Evanston. Whether it's for the big game or to cheer on the high school band, our children make us proud in so many ways. Show your pride today. Go Rebels! West Star Printing and Rocky Mountain Sign, 243 7th Street, Evanston.
Whatever brings you to Evanston, whether it's high school sports, a teaching conference, music festivals, speech and debate, or your job, always book your hotel reservations at the Best Western Dunmar Inn. With 165 ground-level rooms on 10 beautiful acres, the Best Western offers everything you need, including clean, comfortable rooms, a business office, workout room, and a full-service restaurant, plus a complimentary breakfast with every stay. Whenever you're in Evanston, make your hotel reservations with your friends at the Best Western Dunmar Inn.
When you think about Bear Lake, think family, fun, fishing, beaches, boats, green, and great food. Think water, wildlife, trails, and shakes, snow, scenery, and sun. Think summer. Go to bearlake.org and plan your visit today. Visit Scenic Idaho.
At Rich School District, we believe that success motivates individuals, and every student is capable of learning. We believe an effective classroom facilitates learning. We believe in the development of lifelong learners, and we believe that a quality education makes a difference. Student involvement equals student success. Currently, 93% of Rich High students participate in extracurricular activities. Rich School District, providing a quality, well-rounded education for each student.
In the state where life is elevated, live your life in a higher gear. Cash Honda Yamaha can help you enjoy our beautiful local terrain, whether it's in the valleys, mountains, snow, or water. So get out and enjoy all nature has to offer at a higher speed. Visit Cash Honda Yamaha in Cache Valley to start living your life at your new speed. Visit us in Hyde Park, just north of Logan, Utah.
Taking care of yourself is important through all stages of life. Bear Lake Community Health Center offers a holistic approach to a healthy body and mind that includes education, prevention, and networking. We offer medical, dental, behavioral health, nutrition, and pharmacy services. We accept most insurance, including Medicaid, Medicare, and have a sliding scale discount plan. Choose Bear Lake Community Health Center, 435-946-3660.
Welcome back to the West Schwab Plain Stars broadcast booth, where it's time for the Lutz Construction halftime show. Lutz Construction, premier commercial and residential excavation and landscaping. We dig Bear Lake. Find us at find us at diglutzconstruction.com. Whoa. Find us at diglutzconstruction.com. And we're going to go to some we'll have the Rich County government first half highlights and the Ellingford Brothers standout student spotlight. The score going into halftime in the station on main scoreboard is the Rebels 6, the Rangers nothing, as we try to fix a graphic on our screen. That was much bigger than anticipated. It's the Lutz Construction halftime show, brought to you by Once again, Lutz Construction, as we get that up into the corner where it's supposed to be. It is much bigger. We'll be back after this.
Lutz Construction is a premier excavation and landscaping company with over 25 years of experience. Lutz Construction delivers quality results on commercial and residential projects in Utah, Idaho, and Wyoming. Lutz Construction sells everything you need for landscaping and offers a wide range of professional services like foundation digs and rock walls. For all your excavation and landscaping needs, call Lutz Construction. We dig Bear Lake. Visit diglutzconstruction.com.
Welcome back to the Les Schwab Plains Tires broadcast booth. You're in the middle of a Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rich Rebel football on mylocalradio.com and on 98.3 FM. We're going to go to Rob with some of the first half highlights for this ball game.
Well, we talked about it before, Aaron, at the beginning of the broadcast. You wanted to see a mix of pass and run, and it is 72% run, 28% pass. Rebels have 118 yards of total offense. Kemmerer Rangers 65. And Carter Hoffman is 4 of 5 on the passing, but only for 8 yards. The Rangers have yet to pick up a completed pass. The Rebels have 7 first downs to the Rangers 4. As far as the rushing game is concerned that we knew the Rangers were going to use, Riggin Walker has 9 carries for 35 yards. Seth Carell, 6 carries for 17, and Landon Heaps, 6 carries for 12 yards. For the Rebels, Trey Walker has 5 carries for 49 yards, and Max Perry, 6 carries for 32. But the surprise would be the 5 carries from Noah Perry with that a little bit of an adjustment in the playbook. He's picked up 12 yards on those 5 carries. And I would say the other thing that has standed out, no turnovers in the first half, and I think special teams has probably been a little bit of a shaky thing for both sides of the field. Punters have had a little bit of difficulty, and we have the blocked extra point, which leaves the Rebels only up 6-0 rather than the traditional 7.
Those have been your first half highlights brought to you by the Rich County Government. Rebels with a championship cause. Coming up next, we'll visit with our Ellingford Brothers standout student, Trey Walker. Ellingford Brothers. For all your sand, gravel, cement, and steel fabrication needs, call Ellingford Brothers in Evanston, 307-789-1515. Again, the score at halftime on the station non-main scoreboard is the Rebels 6, the Rangers 0. You listen to Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rich Rebel football on 98.3 FM and online at mylocalradio.com.
Quality is the one thing that you can always count on when you do business with Ellingford Brothers in Evanston. Whether you're looking for strong, high-quality cement for construction, sand and gravel for road base, a cement trough or critter ladder for your livestock, or steel fabrication, including custom towing packages, bumpers, and other vehicle accessories, you always get high-quality products and friendly, knowledgeable service at Ellingford's. Stop in today, 199 County Road, Evanston.
You're tuned in to the Lutz Construction halftime show. Lutz Construction and the Ellingford Brothers standout student interview. Today we are visiting with Trey Walker, halfback for the Rebels football team. We're going to go to that interview right now.
I'm here with Trey Kenneth Walker, which is a little bit of a running joke because the first week or so I called him Kenneth. Now I know his name. I'm here with Trey Kenneth Walker, which is a little bit of a running joke because the first week or so I called him Kenneth. Now I know his name is Trey, mostly because he ran for 300 yards in his first 2 football games. So what is it like being a senior here at Rich High School?
It's definitely an experience. Like you would think that it's going to take forever, but then all of a sudden, like within the snap, it feels like you're already on your senior year. You only got 8 or so more games, and then we're done, and I move on to the next sport, and hopefully that one lasts longer, you know?
It's kind of a... I'm here with Trey Kenneth Walker, which is a little bit of a running joke because the first week or so I called him Kenneth. Now I know his name is Trey, mostly because he ran for 300 yards in his first 2 football games. So what is it like being a senior here at Rich High School?
It's definitely an experience. Like you would think that it's going to take forever, but then all of a sudden, like within the snap, it feels like you're already on your senior year. You only got 8 or so more games, and then we're done, and I move on to the next sport, and hopefully that one lasts longer, you know?
It's kind of a weird feeling being the oldest on campus, what has been the biggest adjustment for you now that people look up to you?
Definitely making sure I don't lose my head too much. I definitely lost my head a lot, but I've been working. Like last year, I was horrible. I worked to make sure I don't lose my head as much so that when someone does look up to me, it's for a positive thing, not necessarily just me going nuts and being crazy, you know.
What's something throughout your entire high school life that you looked forward to becoming a senior, and has it come true?
Kind of leaving was what I was like always liked the idea of, but now that it's here, it's like I don't know if I really wanted it to come true or if I really want to leave just because it's so much fun. It's incredible being here with all these freshmen. They're so dope. If I ask them to go hang out with me, they'll do it. It's just crazy with how small of a school we are. It's nice to be able to just go and do whatever with whoever.
If senior Trey Walker were to bump into freshman Trey Walker, what is some advice that you would give yourself or some of the younger kids that are just starting out in high school?
Definitely don't let people get inside your head. Like, be you. Live the life you want to live. Don't let other people's opinions bog you down and all that, because that's one of the things I really hated when I was as a younger classman, is I hated the fact that people would always say something and then I'd believe them and then it'd just pull me down. But now that I've kind of let loose and just not let anyone tear me down, your life's a lot better for sure.
So as a football player, which do you prefer, laying a hit on defense or coming through the hole and running over a defenseman?
I don't know. Both are fun. The running over someone while you're running the ball I think it's probably the funner of the two. Just coming around the corner and just laying someone out I don't know. You could do it on both sides of the ball, but I like the running people over on offense better.
What's one thing the world should know about Trey Walker?
He's a party. Hang out with him. He's not all mean and gloomy as he might seem.
One last thing. What is something that you're looking to accomplish academic-wise and athletic-wise in your senior year?
I'm hoping to get All-State in either football or basketball, and hopefully get a school record with our 4x1 team. We're 0.05 seconds off or something. We're really close, so I'm hoping to cross that line with the track team and then do something good football or basketball-wise and hopefully go on to the next level and continue playing my best ball.
That was the Standout Student Interview, sponsored by Ellingford Brothers. For all your cement, sand, gravel, and steel fabrication needs, call Ellingford Brothers in Evanston, 307-789-1515, featuring Trey Walker. We'll be back right after this from our sponsors. You're listening to the Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rich Rebel Football on 98.3 FM and online at mylocalradio.com.
Lutz Construction is a premier excavation and landscaping company with over 25 years of experience. Lutz Construction delivers quality results on commercial and residential projects in Utah, Idaho, and Wyoming. Lutz Construction sells everything you need for landscaping and offers a wide range of professional services like foundation digs and rock walls. For all your excavation and landscaping needs, call Lutz Construction. We dig Bear Lake. Visit diglutzconstruction.com.
There's nothing better than a yummy, delicious cheeseburger. Except maybe if you add a large raspberry shake and tater tots that are cooked to perfection with just a little extra crunch. That's what you get with every burger at the Crawford Trough in Randolph. There's a full menu to choose from, filled with delicious options that will tickle your taste buds every time. But when you find yourself craving a burger, always choose Crawford Trough. Nothing else compares. The Crawford Trough in Randolph. Stop in today.
Success doesn't come by accident. Success requires hard work, perseverance, learning, sacrifice, and believing in yourself. Eddie and Todd Jensen established the Mound Valley Cattle Company in Thatcher, Idaho on these very principles. The students, staff, athletes, and coaches at Rich High School value these same fundamentals in education and activities, in athletics, and in life. Good luck, Rebels, from Mound Valley Cattle Company, serving customers in Utah, Idaho, and Wyoming since 1997.
Randolph, Utah is a town of extremes. At an elevation of 6,300 feet, with temperatures over 90 in the summer and often 40 below in the winter, the folks who call Randolph home have to be a hardy crew. Maybe that is one reason why the simple things in life mean so much to Rich County. Residents value hard work, education, a value for God, family, and country, and being a good neighbor. Mayor Sim Bell and the town board, Melanie Lim, Clay Barker, Brandon Hatch, and Frank Sano, support the Rich Rebels and hope that you can come back often.
Pam Cornea with Town & Country Realty in beautiful Bear Lake enthusiastically supports the Rich High Rebels.
After all, I raised 4 of them, from football, basketball, wrestling to volleyball. I supported them all. I bleed blue.
The Caribbean of the Rockies, Bear Lake, offers a variety of activities in every season. Pam would love to assist you in finding your own Bear Lake retreat. Call her today, 435-779-0012.
Every person added together makes a community great. Rich County, Utah is filled with individuals that are kind, hardworking, and filled with integrity. We're proud of our children and understand that they have the capacity to make the world a better place. Showing support for every student at Rich High School fosters a healthy community. The Rich County Commissioners, clerk, and citizens of our community say good luck to the Rich Rebels today and every day. Go Rebels!
Welcome back to Les Schwab Plains Tires broadcast booth. You listen to a Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rich Rebels football on 98.3 FM and online at mylocalradio.com.
Got an update for you from Aldemon. The JV girls came back 1 set 4, pushed it to a 5th set, and took care of that one. So a JV win. I think where you've got 3 volleyball matches in a row, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, Coach Lamborn used a little bit of some of the younger players in that JV match, saving some of the JV players maybe for the varsity match, according to my sources, to make it a little bit different maybe of a team that you would expect to see on the floor in the JV match. So maybe that's why I got pushed to 5. But the varsity match is just getting started.
Because if you do that, the likes of Ava Ellsworth, Nia Jolly will have to – they'll play, 6 games in 3 days, and that's a lot, even for the great athletes that those two are. And Nia probably maybe ran in the cross-country race today as well, so you never know. So she could have some real tired legs, but it's good to hear that the JV came back. But we're about 35 seconds away from the Town of Woodruff opening kick, and the Rebels will receive the kick after they deferred to start the game. And, Rob, you should probably call the farmer because this is a barn burner. This has been a barn burner for sure. But the Rebels will get the ball to start the quarter, and let's see what they can come up with offensively. I'm sure they talked about an offensive game plan coming out of halftime.
We talked about it at the beginning of the game, but you have now changed the conditions. The sun is now gone except for the upper corner of the visitor stands, but you are now in the shade, and the lights are on for the second half.
That out-of-town scoreboard update is brought to you by Rob Leifson. If you want a walking encyclopedia of Rich Rebel sports, Rob Leifson's your man.
Trying to get you some results on the cross-country match that you mentioned, but some schools do a better job of putting those online than others.
They're tough to track down. As we're going to see the Rangers kick off for the first time today, they're all lined up behind the kicker, and now they spread out. I was going to say, with that formation, you've got to be ready for the Rebel front line. But the Rangers could have talked about something, too, as well. You got to be ready for an onside kick if you're the Rebels front line. The Town of Woodruff kickoff is underway as that ball is kicked over the heads of Max Perry and Trey Walker, and they're going to let it roll into the end zone for a touchback. Heck of a boot there from the Rangers. Rebels will take over 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. I think the Rebels were thinking along the same lines as me, is protect the onside kick, as Walker and Max Perry, were about at the 20-yard line for the kick. This third quarter is brought to you by the Town of Randolph, home of the Rebels. Good luck from Mayor Sim Bell, council members Melanie Lim, Frank Sano, Brandon Hatch, Clay Barker, and Clerk April Grohl. Once again, that kickoff was brought to you by Town of Woodruff as well. It'll be 1st and 10 Rebels from their own 20. They send Trey Walker in motion. They're going to hand it to him. He's going to go around the right side where he's wrapped up and swung down by number 50. It looks like Owen Barton makes the play. They'll bring up 2nd and 12 for the Rebels as Barton got Walker into his grasp and did not let him go. He made that tackle around an offensive lineman. 11:39 to go in this third quarter, brought to you by the Town of Randolph. Rebels face a 2nd and 12 from their own 18-yard line. Have to get the ball to the 30 for a first down. Hoffman comes out under center. Max Perry is the back in the backfield. 2 receivers split out to each side. Excuse me, they send Desh in motion across the formation. Trips to the right. Excuse me, to the left. They fake the pitch. They're going to go back the other way as Hoffman rolls to the right. He's going to cut it upfield. He's going to continue to run. He's going to get the ball to about the 27-yard line. Heck of an effort there from Carter Hoffman as his intended receiver, Noah Perry, wasn't open in the flats. He kept that ball, gained yardage for the Rebels. That'll bring up 3rd and 4 for the Rebels. They have to get the ball to their own 30-yard line.
Credit the Ranger defense. I think everybody but one player was in on that tackle.
Bring up 3rd down and about 3 with 10:43 left to go here in the 3rd quarter. Station on main scoreboard reads the Rebels 6, the Rangers 0. They hand to Perry up the middle, except they fake it. Pitch it to Noah Perry. Perry's going to get to the edge, get the 1st down, out across the 35-yard line, tackled out of bounds. Noah Perry with some tough running there on the option. Once again, wonderful read from Carter Hoffman.
He's been doing that for a lot of years for a high school student because he ran it in middle school as well. So that experience pays off. He's only a sophomore.
That's enough for an LSR refrigerated 1st and 10 as that ball is placed just inside the Rebel 35. Come out, trips to the right. Max Perry's the only back in the backfield. Extra lineman on the field as they're going to throw a quick pass, throw it out to Walker. It's incomplete. They're going to call that an incomplete pass as that was a sideways pass instead of backwards. Bring up 2nd and 10. With 10:25 to go in the town of Randolph 3rd quarter, the Rebels will face a 2nd and 10 from their own 35. Need to get the ball out to the 45-yard line for a 1st down. Station on main scoreboard reads the Rebels 6, the Rangers 0. As they come out, trips to the right. Noah Perry, a tight end, on the left side of the line of scrimmage. They send Max Perry in motion. They're going to throw it backwards to him. Max Perry catches it on the run, cuts to the outside, gets out to about the 40-yard line where he's hauled down nicely by a Rangers exterior defender. That'll bring up 3rd and about 6 for the Rebels. As that's a little bit of a tricky play when you turn your throw it straight backwards because if you drop that ball, it's a live ball. It's a fumble.
Yeah, and he caught that on the end of the football.
Good hands there from Max Perry as he picks up about 4 yards on the play. Bring up 3rd and 6 for the Rebels with 9:54 to go in the town of Randolph, 3rd quarter. Rebels break the huddle. 2 receivers left, 2 receivers right. Carter Hoffman under center. Max Perry's the back in the backfield. They send Trey Walker in motion. They hand it to him on a counter, and he's going to go up the middle and be stuffed at the 40-yard line. That'll bring up 4th down and 5 for the Rebels.
Tanner Schramm, number 67, in on that one again.
Yeah, we got a flag on the play. It'll be interesting who that's on. If it's on the Rebels, it makes the decision much easier. They're going to have to punt. Dead ball, personal foul against the Rangers. That'll be enough for a 1st down for the Rebels as they're going to mark that off. 1st and 10 for the Rebels after the Rangers make a costly penalty, lose a little bit of discipline.
They had a pretty clean first half. There were only 2 penalties on the Rebels and 2 on the Rangers, but that one is very costly because it takes away a possession.
Something must have been said in the pile because I didn't see a push or a shove or a swing as the Rebels huddle up at their own 30-yard line. They're going to have to run all the way up to the 45 of the Rangers where it's 1st and 10. Chain gang's a little behind too, so the Rebels have time to catch their breath. It'll be an LSR refrigerated 1st and 10 after the Rangers commit the penalty. Referee runs in to make sure the Rebels don't snap the ball before we're set to play. They send Trey Walker in motion. They're going to hand to Walker up the gut this time, a little more room. Gets out to about the 43-yard line as he's pushed back. Roney Profit fired up after the play. It'll be 2nd down and 8 for the Rebels. As that was a big collision in the hole there between Trey Walker and Roney Profit. As we talked to Walker for the Ellingford Brothers Standout Student interview, he seems to enjoy that more, meeting a back in the hole versus being on the other side. Seems like Trey Walker likes to run with the ball more than he does like getting hit. Rebels break the huddle with trips to the right. Noah Perry's a tight end on the left side of the line. Max Perry in the backfield. They're going to do quarterback keeper. Carter Hoffman up the middle, out across the 40 to about the 37-yard line of the Rangers as we are on the Rangers side of the field. That'll bring up 3rd down and about 4 for the Rebels. You'd have to think if you're the Rebels here, you have 4 yards, 2 plays to get 4 yards.
Exactly. It's 4th down territory or 4 down territory.
8:10 to go in the town of Randolph, 3rd quarter. The Rebels lead 6-0 on the Station on Main scoreboard as they break the huddle. They're coming out with 2 split backs, 2 receivers to each side. As Hoffman's just going to run it right up the gut. And he's going to be, looks like a couple inches short. That'll bring up 4th down and 1. As you got to like the play call there. Quarterback sneak, you pick up 3, make it 4th and 1.
And obviously they were reading our minds that they were going for a 4-play setup right there. Now you got to see if the Rangers are thinking they're going to try the exact same play again, though.
It's a big 4th down here. 4th down and 1 yard. They have to get the ball to the Rangers' 35-yard line for a 1st down. They come out with 3 backs behind Hoffman. I don't think there's any hiding what they're doing. They give to Perry. Perry's going to bounce out across the 35 to the 30, gets the 1st down, cuts back at the 25, takes a hit. Max Perry picks up the 1st down. There's a little bit of a late hit there as Perry was on the ground, was bumped by Riggin Walker.
Once again, though, you see Max Perry turn that back upfield rather than going to the sideline.
Gotta love Max Perry's mentality. I'm a little surprised there on 4th and short. Max Perry bounced it to the outside. That's risky to do on 4th down, but it pays off huge for the Rebels here, so you can't really question it. 1st and 10 for the Rebels on the 24-yard line.
Now the formation gave you the impression that they were doing quarterback sneak with everybody pushing from behind.
Rebels come out, trips to the right. Max Perry's the back in the backfield. They fake to him. Hoffman's going to roll right and pass. He throws, has a man, caught. It's Desch, and Desch is going to get pushed back to about the original line of scrimmage. He had 5 yards on the initial catch, but tried to make a play. He's going to be tackled at about the 24-yard line, as we're going to make sure the official on the far side is okay, as she got wrapped up in the play. It's going to bring up 2nd and 8. When Desch caught the ball, he was at about the 20-yard line.
Yeah, that one tried to make more of it than was available there.
2nd and 8 with 6:48 to go in the town of Randolph, 3rd quarter. Rebels face 2nd and 8 from the Ranger 24-yard line.
It was a good throw from Hoffman.
We get an official timeout. As nothing happens, they're going to let the play go. Trips to the right for the Rebels. Max Perry in the backfield. Snap, they fake to Perry, and Hoffman's going to keep it. Get to the outside, reach out. He's across the 20 to about the 18-yard line. Looked like maybe a little bit of a miscommunication there in the backfield as Hoffman spun around and just took off. It'll be 3rd down and about 2 for the Rebels. You'd have to think here, Rob, if they this would be 4 down territory as well, as long as they don't lose yardage on the play. 6:22 to go in the town of Randolph, 3rd quarter. They have trips to the left. Max Perry the back in the backfield. Noah Perry the tight end on the far side of the line. They snap, hand to Max Perry right up the gut. Pushes it out across the 15 all the way down to almost the 10-yard line. Max Perry kept his legs running and took what was close to being a 1st down to a 4-short 1st down to the 10-yard line. That's an LSR refrigerated 1st and 10. As the ball is marked at the 11-yard line, Rebels can pick up a 1st down on the way to the goal line.
Rebels took the opening or the kickoff in this 2nd half and have eaten half the time off the 3rd quarter with this drive.
And once again, that penalty on 3rd down against the Rangers is costly, as not only have they lost a bunch of yardage, they've lost 6 minutes off the clock in that span too. Hoffman under center. 2 backs in the backfield, 2 receivers to the left. They're going to send Trey Walker out to the slot and push each receiver down. Jaden Desch is the receiver split out wide. They hand to Perry up the middle. Perry's going to bounce off a man. Quick whistle there as they had Max Perry wrapped up. As I don't know if Max Perry's real happy about that. I think Max Perry wanted to keep pushing. But he picks up 2 yards as it is. He runs into the interior of the defense, steals 2 yards away from the Rangers. 2nd down and 8. 5:56 to go here in the town of Randolph, 3rd quarter. The Rebels have had the ball the whole entire quarter. This drive's been super impressive, Rob.
And you've got to put points on the board. If you're going to hold on to the ball this long, you've got to make them pay.
if you can score in your opening drive after running 6 minutes off the clock, that is a huge momentum boost for the Rebels as they come out 2nd and 8. They need to get to the 1-yard line for a first down. Max Perry's the back in the backfield. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left is Trey Walker. They send Noah Perry in motion. Give it to him on the counter. He cuts up the gut to the 5. He keeps pushing, and he's out to about the 4-yard line as he's pushed back.
And we got a flag. I'm hoping that's not for a late hit on Trey Walker.
The Rebels are backing up, so.
Looked like he gave a little bit of an extra push there at the end of that play, so I'm hoping that's not what it's going to be. Carter Hoffman going to talk to Coach Larson while we got a little bit of a break. And dead ball. Personal foul
the Rangers.
Against the Rangers. Maybe that was a retaliation.
So it looked like as Perry was on the ground that the tackler got up and walked over him, which threw the flag. So that's going to be 1st and 10 for the Rebels. It should be an automatic first down on a personal foul, but we saw last week with the targeting call that it wasn't the first down. So it'll bring up 2nd down.
Looks like they gave him half the distance to the goal.
And they didn't move the ball, I don't think. Or they did, actually. Never mind. They'll bring up 2nd down and 2 for the Rebels as it looks like Trey Walker was under center for that snap. He pushes forward to the goal line. Touchdown, Rebels! As the Rebels double the lead, Trey Walker looks like he was under center for that snap.
I don't know.
It may have been Carter Hoffman. It was hard to tell. If not, Trey Walker was pushing Carter with the ball as the Rebels now lead 12-0. They double the lead with 5:06 to go. That's a lot of time run off the clock for the Rebels. Wonderful drive. It looks like they're going to go for 2. Make this a 14-0 lead.
My statistician's given that run to Max Perry, but I think it's either Trey Walker or Carter Hoffman, so we'll see if that gets adjusted.
Max Perry's been so good. We're getting him phantom touchdowns today. He lines up next to Carter Hoffman in the shotgun, trips to the right. Hoffman looks right. He's going to pass, throws, has a man that's off the hands of the intended receiver. But we're going to get a personal foul, and there's a Rebel on the ground. It looks like that's going to be against the Rangers as another flag comes in. As it looked like that was a hit to the head.
I think we got pass interference on the play in the end zone as well, and I can't see the number on the player that's down.
There are 3 flags on the field. But with that, we're listening to a Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rich Rebel football on mylocalradio.com and 98.3 FM. We're going to go to a commercial break while they tend to the injured player.
Randolph, Utah is a town of extremes. At an elevation of 6,300 feet, with temperatures over 90 in the summer and often 40 below in the winter, the folks who call Randolph home have to be a hardy crew. Maybe that is one reason why the simple things in life mean so much to Rich County. Residents value hard work, education, a value for God, family, and country, and being a good neighbor. Mayor Sim Bell and the town board, Melanie Lim, Clay Barker, Brandon Hatch, and Frank Sano, support the Rich Rebels and hope that you can come back often.
Welcome back to a Bear Lake Community Health Center. There were 3 different flags on the play, and there were 3 different penalties, all against the Rangers. There was a roughing the passer, pass interference, and then a personal foul as the Rebels player is still down. The Rebels will get a retry on the 2-point conversion from the 1-yard line as the player's up.
Talon Pace was the injured player, and he goes off under his own power.
Which is good. There was a late hit called against Hoffman as he was tackled to the ground. There was also a flag against the player that hit Talon Pace, as well as pass interference in the end zone, which will bring up, I was going to say 1st and goal, but it's not 1st and goal. It's a 2-point conversion from the 1-yard line. And we know the Rebels' favorite play from the 1-yard line. They scored a touchdown on it. Let's see if they do it again. They line up with the Perry brothers in the backfield. Trey Walker as well. Hoffman under center. 2 receivers split out right. Hoffman gets the snap. He's going to go right up the middle as Noah Perry lays a monster hit on Carter Hoffman from behind to get him into the end zone. 2-point conversion is good.
We'll call those the Perry cousins, not the Perry brothers.
Oh. Well, that is my fault. I've been calling them brothers all year.
They're probably brothers in another sense, but on the family chart, they're cousins.
I want to just point out the hit that Noah Perry laid on Carter Hoffman. Little friendly fire. That might be the hardest hit Carter's taken all game.
Especially from the back.
Can you get a 15-yard penalty against your teammate? That makes the score 14-0 as the Rangers will receive the kick on the station on main scoreboard. Rich 14, the Rangers 0 as 5:06 to go. The Rebels ran off almost 7 minutes of clock on that drive. Once again, that penalty on third down for the Rangers was huge. Another penalty was called against them to get the Rebels to the 1-yard line as well, so maybe a little bit of frustration coming out of the Rangers side.
Well, I don't want to give the broadcaster curse, but the Rangers put up 44 points on the board last week against Thermopolis, so they definitely have an offensive power, but pitching a shutout halfway through the third quarter.
They're definitely not out of the game, but Jaden Desch will kick away to the Rangers. The Rangers have been very good on kickoffs so far this game. As Desch kicks it away, the ball's going to go over the head of Walker, and that's going to go into the end zone. Rangers are unable to return it. That's probably the best play for the Rebels, as both returns have been out to the 40-yard line so far in this game for the Rangers. It'll be 1st and 10 Rangers from their own 20. And it's never a bad idea when you're kicking off to force a team, especially when you have a 14-point lead, to go 80 yards and try to score on the full field.
My master statistician, Colin Pace, says we're going to get that touchdown to Carter Hoffman on that sneak at the end of that drive.
Carter Hoffman scores 8 points himself on that possession. Takes an unnecessary roughness penalty as well. That's a pretty big swing of 2 plays. As the ball's on the ground, it looks like the Rebels have it. The Rebels look like they have recovered the fumble. 1st and 10 Rebels from the Rangers' 21-yard line.
Max Perry with the recovery.
So you run off 7 minutes of clock, and then you get a fumble on the 21-yard line. You're nearly in the red zone. You're in field goal range. This could be a huge momentum swing again for the Rebels to try to put this one almost out of reach.
We talked about it at the pregame show. The Rebels are plus 11 in the turnover margin. Make that now plus 12.
Plus 13. They got a 4th down stop as well.
That's true.
And that turnover is brought to you by the town of Garden City. Hoffman comes out in the shotgun, trips to the right. Max Perry's back in the backfield. Hoffman's going to throw, has a man. It's Walker. Walker makes the catch and is pushed back immediately. And it looks like they're going to give him forward progress. No, they don't give him forward progress as he caught that ball at the 20-yard line. He got popped at the end of that play. The Rangers player who made the hit still on the ground. As that'll bring up 2nd and 12. 1st and 12 would be. Bring up 2nd and 12 as the player's going to hop off under his own. He's going to hop off. It looks like it's a leg injury. That's not good. He's not putting any weight on it.
That's Owen Barton. He's made some great plays tonight.
He's going to run it off, and you know what? Props to him for running off the field. Yeah, I respect that. I respect that out of a kid, especially with the leg injury. Hopefully he's just cramping. Never want to see a kid get hurt. He goes to the ground. Yeah, he's cramping. Cramps aren't good, but initially the way he went down, it could have been much worse. But that'll bring up 2nd and 12 for the Rebels. Hoffman under center, Perry, the back in the backfield. They send Walker in motion. They give Trey Walker. Trey Walker jukes at the line, gets out across back to the 20-yard line to about the 19. Nice move in the backfield there from Trey Walker. He's pretty electric with the ball in his hand. That's going to bring up 3rd down and about 8.
You can credit number 56, Kason Huffaker, on that block that gave Walker a little bit more of a chance as the defender was in the middle of the backfield.
3rd down and about 9 for the Rebels with 4:13 to go in the town of Woodruff. 3rd quarter. They lead 14-0 on the station on main scoreboard. Hoffman under center, trips to the left. As they're going to run an option, they pitch to Perry. Perry's going to have to make a man miss. Not going to be able to. That'll bring up 4th down for the Rebels. It'll be interesting to see what they do. It's going to be 4th down and about 11.
Got a little bit of a tough angle for a field goal attempt, but we've seen him do it before.
From here, it'll be about a 40-yard field goal attempt if they go for it. Hunter Pace into the game for the Rebels. I didn't see them bring the blockouts. I don't think they're kicking a field goal. So it looks like the Rebels are going to go for it, but they've run more time off the clock. Clock's down to 3:19 here in the third quarter, brought to you by the town of Randolph.
You've got Hunter Pace in the shotgun.
Hunter Pace comes out. He's going to play quarterback for this snap. They move Carter Hoffman to the slot. Pace gets the snap. He looks to throw. Drops back. Is going to throw over the middle. Had no parry. Intercepted by the Rangers. As it's going to be down on the 30-yard line. Nice play there from the middle linebacker of the Rangers. We'll see who gets the ball, but that pass over the middle was a little behind Noah Perry, who came across on an in route. That'll bring up 1st and 10 for the Rangers from the Rebel 32-yard line.
Swap turnovers.
2:53 to go in the third quarter. The Rangers get the ball back. They've run one play in the half, which of course was the fumbled snap that led to the Rebels' turnover. See what they decide to do is they come out in the wishbone, Heaps under center. Gets the snap. They're going to hand to Krell around the near side, as he's going to pick up about 4 yards on the play. 2nd down and 6. From the Ranger 31-yard line. $2:25 to go in the town of Randolph third quarter. I think if you're the Rangers, you want to hustle up a little bit to the line, as time's a little bit of an issue for them with 2:17 to go in the town of Randolph third quarter. They send Krell in motion. They're going to pitch to him around the outside. As he makes a move, he drops the ball. Carter Hoffman punched the ball out, but it looks like the Rangers are going to retain possession, as that's going to be a loss on the play for the Rangers all the way out to back to the 31-yard line. He'll bring up 3rd down and 11. Nice play there from Carter Hoffman as he punched the ball out on the contact.
Riggin Walker and Trey Walker matched up in that block in the back, in the backfield on that one, and they were still going at it after the whistle blew. So
good for Trey, though, for walking away.
Yep.
We talked about that in his interview this week, that that's one thing he wanted to be better at, is his temperament. They snap. Heaps is going to throw. He rolls to the right. He's going to throw long. Has a man wide open. Cannot find him. He had Grayson Nielsen wide open behind every single Rebel defender. We're going to get a flag on the play.
I think this one's going against the coach.
As Noah Perry is finished that play in the end zone. As from up here, we can't really tell what the penalty is going to be called.
Yeah, the play went to the left of the line of scrimmage, and the flag came clear over here on the right side, but I'm not sure which way this one's going.
Still waiting for official signal.
The Ranger coach was not happy with that one. Looks like a spot foul.
I think they just have the wrong line of scrimmage. Yeah, they're bringing it back to the line of scrimmage where the ball was placed.
But we've still not had any indication from the referee what the foul was.
Did they pick? They might have picked the flag up. It would appear they have picked the flag up. Looks like the Rangers come out in the punting formation. Trey Walker is going to be deep. Umpire comes in to stop the play.
Should be 4th down.
It is 4th down. They correct it. As that was a huge opportunity missed for the Rangers. As Nielsen ran a great route. He was wide open, just unable to find him was Heaps. The snap is there. That's a better punt there from Walker. As Trey Walker is going to field it, get hit immediately. That may have been a good time for Trey Walker to call a fair catch just because he got lit up immediately, Rangers players, including Seth Krell.
I will say Heaps was under pressure on that throw, so it was hard to get enough underneath it.
So again, the defensive line for the Rebels making a play. They didn't get the sack that time, but they forced the pressure, forced a bad throw, and that really bailed out their defensive backs because Nielsen was wide open. But as it stands, 1:09 to go in the third quarter, brought to you by the town of Randolph. The station on main scoreboard, 14-0 Rebels over the Rangers, as the Rebels have the ball, 1st and 10 from their own 40-yard line. Hunter Pace under center for the Rebels. Carter Hoffman's the receiver in the slot. Pace backs up into the shotgun. You got 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Pace gets the snap, rolls right. Looks like he's going to throw. Stops, plants. He's going to chuck it downfield. Jump ball. Jaden Desch goes and gets it. Jaden Desch makes a play. What a play there from Jaden Desch as he's a little slow to get up, as it looks like he landed on the ball. But that'll be 1st and 10 for the Rebels after the 38-yard pass play from Hunter Pace. It'll be 1st and 10 Rebels from the Ranger 39-yard line. 1 play, they flipped the field. Nice pass there from Hunter Pace.
Have we got a timeout?
They called an injury timeout for Jaden Desch.
There you go.
Who was able to get off the field under his own power as he's being looked at. I think he got the wind knocked out of him as he landed on the ball. What a throw from Hunter Pace.
He cranked that one.
Especially not throwing all game. He got the ball in an area where an athlete and Jaden Desch can make a play, and Desch made the play. Good for Desch, though, as he shakes off the bad punt and makes a play for his team. That's what happens when you're a good team. You pick each other up. Hoffman fakes the pitch, gives it to Max Perry. Perry's going to battle out across the 40 to about the 38-yard line. Max Perry keeps them legs moving. 35 seconds to go in the town of Randolph third quarter, and I think if you're the Rebels, they're going to walk to the sideline. That's going to be the last play of the game. Last play of the third quarter, not the game. That'll bring up 2nd down and 10 for the Rebels when the fourth quarter comes. We've got about 20 seconds to go here in the third you're listening to you're listening to a Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rebels football on 98.3 FM and online at mylocalradio.com. The town of Randolph third quarter comes to a close with the Rebels leading the Rangers 14-0 on the station on main scoreboard. We'll be back after this with the fourth quarter.
At Rich School District, we believe that success motivates individuals, and every student is capable of learning. We believe an effective classroom facilitates learning. We believe in the development of lifelong learners, and we believe that a quality education makes a difference. Student involvement equals student success. Currently, 93% of Rich High students participate in extracurricular activities. Rich School District, providing a quality, well-rounded education for each student.
Welcome back to the Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rich Rebel football. We're going to go to the fourth quarter live cam as we'll do a fan cam in the fourth. We're going to go to the fan cam. Fan cam is brought to you by Bear Lake Realty, your home and experts. Gare Bear Fan Cam brought to you by Bear Lake Realty and broker Gary McKee. Whether you're looking for a summer home, a place to live year-round, or an investment property, call the experts at Bear Lake Realty. Call Gary McKee, 435-946-8888. As the Rebels number 8 is going to give to Trey Walker on the reverse. Walker follows his lead block, and he's going to pick up about 6 yards. Once again, that's Bear Lake Realty and Gary McKee, 435-946-8888. That'll bring up 3rd down and 5 for the Rebels, as we are in the fourth quarter, which is brought to you by Bear Lake Realty and Gary McKee in Garden City. 11:31 to go in the Bear Lake fourth quarter. As you're going to say, Rob?
Once again, I think you're in 4-down territory because you're knocking on the door for another score.
Hoffman comes out under center, has Max Perry in the backfield behind him. 2 receivers to his left, 1 to the right. They send Noah Perry in motion. They give to Max. Max up the middle, out across the 25 to the 20. Max Perry rumbling, stumbling, all the way down to the 15-yard line. Max Perry up the gut, keeps his legs moving, picks up an LSR refrigerated 1st and 10 for the Rebels. Ball will be spotted at the Ranger
12-yard line?
12-yard line. Excuse me, nope, that's the 17-yard line. 11 minutes to go in the Bear Lake Realty fourth quarter. The station on main scoreboard reads the Rebels 14, the Rangers 0 as we fix the quarter clock. They get the snap. Hoffman's going to keep it on the option. Cuts up the field. Out to the 10. Across to the 5. Down to about the 4-yard line. They're going to mark him down at the 5. It'll be first and goal for the Rebels from the 5-yard line. Getting a whistle blown.
I think Seth Krell was shaking up on that play. They were giving him a chance to get off the field.
He's able to hustle off under his own power. Hopefully he'll be all right. Once again, we never want to see players hurt, no matter for what team. It'll be first and goal from the 5-yard line. Hoffman comes out under center. Max Perry behind him. 2 receivers to the left. Full line as they give to Perry up the gut. He rumbles, pushes his way forward to the goal line. Touchdown, Rebels! Max Perry with his second of the ball game. 20-0. The Rebels lead the Rangers in the fourth quarter with 10:34 to go. Station on main scoreboard now reads the Rebels 20, the Rangers 0. Once again, 10:34 to go in the Bear Lake Realty fourth quarter. As the kicking block is going to come out, they're going to try for the field goal again.
Extra point.
Sorry. It's Trey Walker. See if you can get a little more elevation on the ball this time. That's the one issue you have with a toe punter is they can kick the ball really hard, but sometimes it doesn't get high enough and it will get blocked.
Hunter Pace on the hold and his younger brother Talon on the snap.
Good to see Talon back in the game.
And we got movement on the Rebels offensive line.
May not have been the worst thing in the world because coming off the edge, it looked like that was 21, Reagan Walker, who timed the snap perfectly, and it looked like he may have had a chance to get there.
It looks like it's Noah Perry on the snap.
That does look like Noah Perry as well to me. Fortunately, Talon not back in the game. Snap high, hold down, kick on the way. Will it get there? It does! Extra point is good. As Trey Walker goes down, he got just enough on that ball to get it over as the snap was a little high. Once again, good job there from Hunter Pace to get the ball down to have the opportunity to kick that. That was a really high snap. Once again, from a Rebel that hasn't necessarily done long snapping that much, but you're listening to a Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rich Rebel Football on 98.3 FM and online at mylocalradio.com. We'll be back after this.
So this is the Reserve at Bear Lake, most beautiful place in the world. Come here and find out how you can buy your own Airbnb property and help pay for itself, or just come here and enjoy a second home in sports courts, pools, hot tubs, access to 200 miles of mountain trails, brand new homes now starting at $600,000, quarter shares starting at $250,000. Would like you to invite you to be part of that. Call Gary McKee at Bear Lake Realty at 435-946-8888.
Welcome back to the Les Schwab Plains Tires broadcast booth. We're in the middle of a Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rich Rebel Football on 98.3 FM and online at mylocalradio.com. Jaden Dash booms the town of Woodruff kickoff to the goal line. That took a hop. That almost stayed in play. But it's going to roll into the end zone as that's 2 touchbacks tonight for Jaden Dash. As it's good to see him respond after a punt that didn't go his way that he was very, very shaken up about. You could tell that it means a lot to him in the special teams, the kicking game.
Yeah, the kicking game's been much better in the second half, obviously, and we got the extra point that we missed in the first half.
Not only the extra point, a 5-yard longer extra point. 10:34 to go in the Bear Lake Realty fourth quarter. The Rebels lead 21-0 on the station on main scoreboard. And if you're the Rangers, you have to open it up a little bit.
They've been using the running game the whole time, have not completed a pass yet.
Heaps under center. They had a man open last possession. As they send him back in motion, Heaps is going to keep the ball himself, be chased by a couple of Rebels, and as number 2, it looks like Noah Perry makes a heck of a play to chase Heaps down from the far side. That'll keep the clock moving out to about the 24-yard line for Heaps. 4-yard gain on the play. Second down and 6 for the Rangers. They have to get the ball to the Ranger 30-yard line. Rangers break the huddle. 10:05 to go in the Bear Lake Realty fourth quarter. Rebels up 21-0. No backs in the backfield. Empty set. Haven't seen this look yet out of the Rangers. They drop back to throw. Max Perry up the middle. Gets the first hit. Unable to get him down, but there to finish the play is the Rebels, and there's a flag on the play as it was Hunter Pace who was there to finish that tackle. They're going to call a penalty against the Rebels as personal foul. That's targeting against Hunter Pace. That's going to be a first down for the Rangers. That ball will be moved up 15 yards. You love the hustle from Hunter Pace, just unfortunately, you don't love the ending to the play. But I think 4 or 5 Rebels had their hands on Heaps.
Yeah, he did a good job of getting away from that one.
That's a tremendous effort, almost like a young Ben Roethlisberger shaking defenders off just to pick up positive yardage, and it'll be super positive yardage for the Rangers as the ball will be moved out to their 36-yard line. It'll be first
33.
and 10. 33. No.
But they're opening up the passing game.
36. Oh, they moved it back. I was going off the stick, not the ball. Should probably go off the ball, huh?
Maybe.
Yeah. Me and Rob are having arguments. 9:45 to go in the Bear Lake Realty fourth quarter. Empty backfield again for the Rangers. They drop back to pass, and he's sacked right away. As we wait for the player to get up, that is number 65. I believe that is Jack Bell. Yep, Jack Bell.
Shaking a little swagger after that one.
Yeah, he's caused some havoc in the backfield as well all night. Him and Max Perry have been tremendous. That is, by my count, the 4th sack of the night for the Rebels defense. That'll bring up second down and 17. It's not that I think the Rangers haven't wanted to pass. It's just when they do pass, the pass rush for the Rebels defense has been so good. They just haven't been able to, like we talked about last possession, they had Nielsen open for probably a touchdown, and the pass rush caused that pass to be offline. Second and 16 for the Rangers offense. Ball on the 27-yard line. They need to get the ball out to the the Ranger 44. We're going to get a timeout called as the play clock was running down. Timeout called by the Rangers head coach. With that, you listen to a Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rich Rebel Football on 98.3 FM and online at mylocalradio.com. We'll be back after this.
As one of the region's most visited websites, mylocalradio.com is here to serve you. Catch up on local and regional news and information. Buy, sell, or trade your good used items on the radio classifieds. Check the weather forecast or catch our live coverage of your high school teams in action, all on mylocalradio.com. Like us on Facebook so you never miss a giveaway, and visit mylocalradio.com today to stream it all live.
Welcome back to the Les Schwab Plains Tires broadcast booth. As we got some technical difficulties, I hit the wrong button going into break. We got an out-of-town scoreboard update brought to you by Rob Leifson and company.
Well, Glenn Smith's keep me updated. The Rebels take the first set against the Altamont Longhorns, 25-11.
That is officially 13-0 in conference sets for the Rebels this year in 1A region play. You're listening to Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rebels football, 98.3 FM, online on mylocalradio.com. 8:47 to go in the Bear Lake Realty fourth quarter. Pass is thrown, caught at the 30-yard line where the Rebels swarm, and they tackle the receiver. That is number 3. That is Krell on the catch. Gets the ball out to about the 44-yard line. They'll bring up 3rd and 9 for the Rangers. Nice little pass and catch there from Heaps to Krell.
And there's your first completed pass for the Rangers of the evening.
Also, good job there from the Rebels gang tackling as they backed off a little bit, allowing the catch underneath, but you don't want anything over the top if you're the Rebels defense. Station on main scoreboard reads 21-0 Rebels with 8:11 to go in the Bear Lake Realty fourth quarter. Heaps under center. Empty backfield. Snap, Heaps is looking back, drops back to throw, is swarmed by the Rebels, makes the play, escapes the pocket, and is chased down by a shoestring tackle by Hunter Pace. Or else Heaps was running for a while. That's going to bring up 1st and 10 from the 50-yard line. Heaps hasn't completed very many passes, but he's escaped the pocket quite well for the Rangers tonight. It'll bring up 1st and 10 from the 50-yard line. 7:56 to go here in the Bear Lake Realty fourth quarter.
Heaps has had some magic to escape. He's been under duress most of the time he's been trying to throw, but he has completed one.
Although he only has one completion, once again, we talked about the Rebels pass rush, not really allowing much time for Heaps to throw. Has 2 receivers to the left, 1 back in the backfield. They're going to pass. Quick throw is going to be incomplete as he had a man open. That was number 80, Grayson Nielsen. Couldn't find him. And we got Trey Walker's down on the play.
No flag on the field, but it looks
that
like
was late.
Coach Larson is not happy with the call. There's no flag on the play, but the referees are talking about it.
And we're going to wind it. Well, we can't wind it. That was an incomplete pass.
Now it's passing. They're running the clock.
Clock should be stopped. That was incomplete. I don't know. I don't think you can just penalize a team by running the clock because you didn't call a flag. That's should be a stop clock. But as it stands, Rebels will take it. As Heaps is hitting the backfield, he's going to get away and run for about 5 yards. Nice job there from Heaps to escape.
More magic.
He was hitting the backfield again. The passing numbers haven't been great for Heaps, but he's been impressive escaping the pocket and making plays for his team, which is what you want out of your quarterback. It's 3rd and 5. They have to get the ball to the 40-yard line.
Should be 3rd and 10 because they had him wrapped up at the line of scrimmage.
There's a lot more sack opportunities that the Rebels have had, and 4 by my count is kind of low for as many times as they've had their arms on Heaps. Heaps has done tremendous to escape the pocket and not get sacked as many times as what could be. 6:41 to go in the Bear Lake Realty 4th quarter. I want to see the Rangers hustle it up a little bit as Heaps rolls out and is pressured. He's going to throw that away. Good job there from Hunter Pace to pressure the quarterback, and then after the throw to avert his course instead of hitting the quarterback. Good job there from Hunter Pace, keeping his cool as this is getting a little bit chippy with 6:19 to go. As that's an incomplete pass. They're running the clock again. Be a little curious why they're doing that, Rob, just because
usually you get a little bit of a home court or home field advantage from the clock keeper, not to your disadvantage.
We got 6 minutes to go in the Bear Lake Realty 4th quarter, but I'm sure the Rebels sidelines will take it. 21 is not running clock, so a little bit of an advantage for the Rebels, I guess, here. As the Rangers come out 4th and 5. Huge opportunities for the Rebels defense to get off the field. Heaps back to pass. Has time. Is pressured. Noah Perry wraps him up. He's going to take him down. Noah Perry. He joins the sack party. It's number 5 for the Rebels. Turnover on downs. 5:36 to go in the Bear Lake Realty 4th quarter. The Rebels grab another turnover, brought to you by the town of Garden City, as it'll be 1st and 10 Rebels on the Rangers side of the field. Now the objective here for the Rebels, eat some clock.
Well, you've had a little help from the clock keeper, so
5:36 to go in the Bear Lake Realty 4th quarter. 1st and 10 Rebels from the Rangers' 48-yard line. As a couple of Perrys, who aren't brothers, I found out, have joined in the sack party. Max with 2. Noah picks up 1, not to be left out. We're going to get a timeout called by the Rebels. With that, you're listening to a Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rich Rebel Football on 98.3 FM and online at mylocalradio.com. We'll be back after this.
When you enter the city limits of the town of Woodruff, the sign welcomes you to the town of coldest temps and warmest hearts. Settled in 1870, we celebrate the values of kindness, compassion, and friendliness, knowing that a community's greatness may best be measured by the compassionate actions of its members. Mayor Scott Savey and council members Raymond Franson, Millie Bradshaw, Seiko Webb, and Monica Schultez, with clerk Lisa Bell, welcome you and say,
Go Ridge Rebels!
Welcome back to the Les Schwab Plains Tires broadcast booth. You're listening to a Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rich Rebels football on 98.3 FM and online at mylocalradio.com. Not a bad time out there for Coach Tyson Larson as the clock was stopped. Let's talk about this with your kids. Make sure they know the game plan. Make sure they know what to do. Make sure they know to stay in bounds as they give to Perry up the middle. Actually, Hoffman keeps it. He gets me on the keeper. Out across the 40 to the 41 around the right-hand side. That's a real good fake when you can get the play-by-play guy, as Carter Hoffman's done that to me a couple times today. Bring up 2nd down and 2.
Yeah, picks up 8 on the play. And again, a good call on that option.
Rebels break the huddle. Let's see if they try to eat some clock here as they lead 21-0 on the Station on Main scoreboard here in the Bear Lake Realty fourth quarter. 5:09 to go. They send Trey Walker in motion. They keep. This time they pitch to Walker on the outside, out across the 40. Runs a man over and keeps it going as he stays in bounds. Heck of a job there from Trey Walker.
Carl Haslam, number 35 on the tackle. Nice open field tackle. And we're getting chippy again.
As that'll bring up third down and about 2 for the Rebels. Good run there from Trey Walker. It's actually third down and about 1, maybe about 2 inches if we're going to go with 2. Rebels need to get the ball to the Ranger 38-yard line for a first down. As Carter Hoffman lines up under center. Sends Walker in motion. They give to Max Perry. Max Perry falls forward out to about the 36-yard line for a first down. That's an LSR refrigerated first down. Good job there by Max Perry to keep his legs moving and fall forward. A little more conventional short yardage run there from Max. 4:15 to go in the Bear Lake Realty fourth quarter as the clock stops in order to move the sticks. Rebels need to get the ball to the Ranger 27-yard line for a first down. As the clock begins to run again after the sticks are set. 4:05 to go in the Bear Lake Realty fourth quarter. Rebels with a commanding 21-0 lead on the Station on Main scoreboard. Hoffman sends pace in motion. Hoffman's going to keep it up the gut. Out across the 30 to the 25. As Hoffman gets the LSR refrigerated first and 10 as we're going to move the sticks again. 3:48 to go in the Bear Lake Realty fourth quarter. Hoffman with a nice keeper there. Finishes the run as he is tackled by Krell at the 25-yard line. First and 10 Rebels.
I realize we're running the clock, and that's why we're running the ball, but would you want to know what the percentages are of passing versus running?
I would like to know those.
They have not changed. It's 28 and 72.
Obviously being up, that's going to make a big difference. You don't want to throw the ball up 21-0. Wow.
You called it.
Yep. Announcer's curse as Trey Walker it's Levi Stonehouse with the catch. He's going to be tripped up at about the line of scrimmage. It's going to bring up 2nd and 10. Or he's going to actually lose yardage on the play. They'll bring up 2nd and 13. As that's kind of an extension of your run game, though, Rob. Although you're throwing the ball, you're throwing it to a receiver quickly. You're trying to get it out quickly so that way you have a chance to run after the catch. It's something that a lot of NFL teams have gone to recently with the wide receivers becoming more explosive in the NFL. Clock continues to wind. 2:55 to go in the Bear Lake Realty fourth quarter. 21-0 on the Station on Main scoreboard. Rebels with the lead. Hoffman under center has 3 receivers to his left. Noah Perry on the line to his right. They're going to run the option as Hoffman cuts it upfield. Nicely done there on the tackle as that's number 13. Landon Heaps, the quarterback, making another play. Heaps has been super impressive. He's made a lot of really good plays defensively as well as escaping the pocket for the Rangers offense. 2:25 to go in the Bear Lake Realty fourth quarter. Rebels face a 3rd down and 9. Let's see what they draw up here. I imagine this is 4-down territory for the Rebels, trying to take as much time off the clock as possible. Hoffman has trips to his left again. Max Perry's the back in the backfield. Hoffman is staring down the line judge behind the line of scrimmage. Line judge gives a signal. Not a lot of time left on the clock. Hoffman gets the snap, throws right away. It's Stonehouse again. He's going to rumble forward. Did he stay in bounds? No, he steps out of bounds, but he's going to pick up about 6 yards. 1:50 to go in the Bear Lake Realty fourth quarter. Rebels face a 4th down and 5. With 1:50 to go, they lead 21-0. As fans are starting to file out of the stadium, the Rebels 21-0 on the Station on Main scoreboard. This has been an impressive game so far for the Rebels. We're looking to finish it out with 150. You don't want to count your eggs before they're hatched. I know that's cliche, but finish the game and then we can celebrate. Hoffman under center is waiting for the play clock to wind down, but the game clock stopped. They fake the handoff to Max Perry, give to Noah Perry. Good read there defensively by the Rangers as they haul Perry down, and we get a flag on the play. Looks like the Rebels are going to finish this game out with the ball, as that tackle was made after the whistle was blown. That's a tough one, though, if you're a kid. You're driving back a running back, and the whistle blows. Maybe you don't hear it. You finish the tackle because that's what you're supposed to do. And they call a flag on it. It's kind of tough if you're a kid there.
Tanner Schramm was the first one to catch no on that one. He's made some great tackles all night long. But that will give the Rebels a first down, and they're going to be able to use your favorite formation, Aaron.
It's victory formation. Let's go. Rebels, 21-0 in the Bear Lake Realty fourth quarter. And unfortunately for Schramm's played, I think he's played a very good game. He's also played a very clean game. I don't believe there was any intent behind that for Schramm. I think he was just trying to finish a play. Although you're down in the fourth quarter, you don't ever want to quit on the football field. As they move the ball.
Still trying to get the sticks set up. Got to convince somebody that it's 1st and 10.
Got to move. It's a moot point as it is, though, as there's 1:38 left to go in the Bear Lake Realty fourth quarter. As they keep moving the ball down the field. That's not victory formation, Rob.
1st and goal.
Announcer's curse strikes again. But the Rebels come out, trips to the right. Hoffman under center. Max Perry's the back in the backfield. He has 2 touchdowns already. 1st and goal for the Rebels from the 10-yard line. Once again, Hoffman's waiting for the play clock to wind down. Oh, the clock does start. 1:29 to go in the game. As he gets the signal from the black judge. Sends Max Perry out in motion as Hoffman's going to keep it up the gut. They're going to give him about the 5-yard line, 5-yard gain on the quarterback keeper. 1:13 to go in the ball game. Clock continues to wind. As the Rebels look like they're going to wrap up a victory, I guess the only question left is what will the score be? As I don't know if they're happy with a 21-0 win.
Lady Rebels take the second set 25-15 in Altamont.
So that means the Lady Rebels are now 14-0 in region sets.
This might be your victory formation.
35 seconds to go in the ball game. Carter Hoffman's going to take a knee. And that will do it, barring any timeouts called. Doesn't look like either team's going to call a timeout. Rebels are going to the sideline to celebrate as Hunter Pace and Tyson Larson will chest bump at the 25-yard line, and that's going to put the bow on another Rebels victory. They improved to 3-2 on the season with their first 11-man win in very impressive fashion as the defense holds up for a 21-0 shutout on the Station on Main scoreboard. As the clock continues to wind, we are officially at double zeros. The Rebels officially win this ball game. And with that, that is the end of the Bear Lake Realty fourth quarter. Rebels with a 21-0 win over the Kemmerer Rangers. That brings us to the end of the Bear Lake Realty fourth quarter, where the Rebels win by a final score of 21-0 over the Kemmerer Rangers. We'll be right back with the Epic Recreation postgame show. You're listening to Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rich Rebel Football on 98.3 FM and online at mylocalradio.com.
Lutz Construction is a premier excavation and landscaping company with over 25 years of experience. Lutz Construction delivers quality results on commercial and residential projects in Utah, Idaho, and Wyoming. Lutz Construction sells everything you need for landscaping and offers a wide range of professional services like foundation digs and rock walls. For all your excavation and landscaping needs, call Lutz Construction. We dig Bear Lake. Visit diglutzconstruction.com.
A healthy smile improves life in many ways. Fresher breath, increased confidence, and better overall health. Dr. Sean Grohl and his team at Comprehensive Family Dental have been supporting Rich Rebels for over 25 years. Call today and schedule your next appointment. Go Rebels!
supporting the Rich Rebels and everything they do. J-Bar Auto and J-Bar Excavation in Randolph provide services to Rich Rebel fans every day. Auto repair, tires, sand, and gravel. J-Bar Auto and J-Bar Excavation on Main Street in Randolph. Stop in today.
Whether it's for your home, your ranch, your equipment, or your business, when you need propane, count on the best. T7 Propane in Woodruff. The safe and professional team at T7 Propane offers quality product and the most responsive propane service in the area, so you can enjoy the affordability, reliability, and efficiency of propane. For heating, cooking, grilling, motor fuel, and more, count on the team at T7 for your personal or business propane needs. 435-793-4208.
If you've never heard a mechanic say they truly care, then you've been at the wrong place. Stacy's Repair in Woodruff is a family-owned and operated business open since 1992. Offering all types of maintenance and repair services, you can be sure your vehicle is operating at its best. Whether your vehicle is older or the newest model, gas or diesel, we fix and maintain them all. Also offering chip repair, windshield replacement, and tires. When your vehicle needs a mechanic, bring it to the ones who truly care. Stacy's Repair in Woodruff.
As one of the region's most visited websites, MyLocalRadio.com is here to serve you. Catch up on local and regional news and information. Buy, sell, or trade your good used items on the radio classifieds. Check the weather forecast or catch our live coverage of your high school teams in action, all on MyLocalRadio.com. Like us on Facebook so you never miss a giveaway, and visit MyLocalRadio.com today to stream it all live.
This presentation on MyLocalRadio.com is also brought to you in part by Hoover Chiropractic. With over 3 decades of experience, Dr. Todd Hoover can help you with all the chiropractic work you need, plus x-rays, blood work, a weight loss program, and can help you get rid of allergies and migraines. Dr. Todd Hoover with Hoover Chiropractic in Evanston.
At the Evanston Walmart, you'll find all the tools students need to succeed. Our team is committed to providing quality products and an excellent shopping experience. Stop in today. 125 North 2nd Street, Evanston. Walmart. Save money, live better.
Whether you're kicking up the dust in the hills, making waves down on the lake, or taking advantage of the world's greatest powder, don't just hope to have fun. Take that sled by the handlebars and make your time at Bear Lake epic. Epic Recreation rents equipment and cabins for your vacation fun at beautiful Bear Lake. From watercraft, large and small, to UTVs, sleds, and more, Epic Recreation has it all. On-road, off-road, or out on the Caribbean blue water. Book your next adventure at epicrecreation.net.
Welcome to the Epic Recreation postgame show. Make your next vacation epic with rentals at Bear Lake, cabins, boats, UTVs, inner tubes, fat tire bikes, everything you need to make your next vacation epic. Year-round rentals. Visit epicrecreation.net. Today's game had some great plays. Let's look at those now during the Jimmy John's Freaky Fast Recap. Gourmet sandwiches made fast and fresh every day. Get your delicious sandwich today. I had one. It was great. 113 Front Street, Evanston. And our Freaky Fast Recap is 10:28 left. Max Perry scores the game-winning touchdown as he runs in from 22 yards out. Extra point, no good. 5:06 left in the third quarter. After a long drive from the Rebels, they got the ball to start the half. A big penalty against the Kemmerer Rangers. Let that drive continue, and the Rebels executed perfectly as they ran off a lot of clock, and then Carter Hoffman punches it in from 3 yards out. 2-point conversion is good by Carter Hoffman again. Back-to-back quarterback sneaks after 3 penalties were called on the extra point attempt against the Rangers. Rounding out the scoring with 10:34 to go, Max Perry runs it in from 5 yards out, 21-0. That would be the final score. Stay tuned for the Dr. McKay Frankham Precision Play of the Game, the Player of the Game, and the post-game diagnostics report from the Epic Recreation post-game show. You listen to a Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rebel football on 98.3 FM and online at mylocalradio.com.
Whether you're kicking up the dust in the hills, making waves down on the lake, or taking advantage of the world's greatest powder, don't just hope to have fun. Take that sled by the handlebars and make your time at Bear Lake epic. Epic Recreation rents equipment and cabins for your vacation fun at beautiful Bear Lake. From watercraft, large and small, to UTVs, sleds, and more, Epic Recreation has it all. On-road, off-road, or out on the Caribbean blue water. Book your next adventure at epicrecreation.net.
When you drive on the best tires that are rotated, balanced, and inflated properly, you can save money two ways. The best tires can reduce wear and tear on your vehicle. That saves you money in the long run. The best tires can also improve your overall miles per gallon. That helps you save every time to fill up at the pump. At Freeway Tire in Evanston, we offer the best tires with the best service for every vehicle. Make sure you're running on the best tires you can. Visit Freeway Tire today, 217 Bear River Drive, Evanston.
Nothing makes your kid feel like a superstar more than seeing his or her very own Fathead in the stands. Fathead car decals and yard signs are inexpensive and easy to get at Rocky Mountain Sign in Evanston. Whether it's for the big game or to cheer on the high school band, our children make us proud in so many ways. Show your pride today. Go Rebels! West Star Printing and Rocky Mountain Sign, 243 7th Street, Evanston.
Whatever brings you to Evanston, whether it's high school sports, a teaching conference, music festivals, speech and debate, or your job, always book your hotel reservations at the Best Western Dunmar Inn. With 165 ground-level rooms on 10 beautiful acres, the Best Western offers everything you need, including clean, comfortable rooms, a business office, workout room, and a full-service restaurant, plus a complimentary breakfast with every stay. Whenever you're in Evanston, make your hotel reservations with your friends at the Best Western Dunmar Inn.
At Rich School District, we believe that success motivates individuals, and every student is capable of learning. We believe an effective classroom facilitates learning. We believe in the development of lifelong learners, and we believe that a quality education makes a difference. Student involvement equals student success. Currently, 93% of Rich High students participate in extracurricular activities. Rich School District, providing a quality, well-rounded education for each student.
Hello, this is Dr. McKay Frankham. As a dentist in Evanston for over 20 years now, my mission has always been to provide quality dental care for people of all ages at reasonable prices. I'm a detail-oriented person, and it's important to me to stay current on new dental procedures and protocols that can help my patients have the best experience and have the best results. Over the years, I've also worked to keep my overhead low so that I can pass those savings on to my patients. I believe everyone deserves quality dental care. Please call us today at 307-789-8910.
Welcome back to the Epic Recreation postgame show, where we are broadcasting live from the Les Schwab Plains Tires broadcast booth. It is time for the Precision Play of the Game, brought to you by Dr. McKay Frankham, Precision Family Dentistry at affordable prices. Call for an appointment today at 307-789-8910. And we're going to turn it over to Rob Leifson as he adds the Precision Play of the Game.
We're going to give it to Max Perry. The Rangers were looking like they were going to score. It was a fourth down attempt, and Max Perry puts an end to that. He also had another one had a quarterback sack later on that put an end to a fourth down attempt as well. The Rangers were one of three on fourth down attempts to try to get the first down, and Max Perry was the least responsible for two of those stops. Well, two of them, both of them.
Both of them, yeah. That's who we've chosen for our Dr. McKay Frankham Precision Play of the Game, and now we're going to move on to our player of the game, and I think it's going to be a very familiar name, Rob. I think we're going to have to give it to Max Perry.
I think he did well on both sides of the ball with both defensive plays as well as offensive. He ran for 14 carries for 71 yards.
And I think for Max, it wasn't necessarily about the yardage today. He punched in 2 touchdowns and then had 2 sacks on defense. 2s are wild for Max Perry as he is number 20. And that is who we've chosen for our player of the game. Coming up next on the Stacy's Repair post-game diagnostics report. When you need a repair, take it into the ones who truly care. Stacy's Repair in Woodruff. You're listening to a Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rich Rebels Sports. The final score on the station on main scoreboard is the Rebels 21, the Rangers nothing. We'll be back after this.
If you've never heard a mechanic say they truly care, then you've been at the wrong place. Stacy's Repair in Woodruff is a family-owned and operated business open since 1992. Offering all types of maintenance and repair services, you can be sure your vehicle is operating at its best. Whether your vehicle is older or the newest model, gas or diesel, we fix and maintain them all. Also offering chip repair, windshield replacement, and tires. When your vehicle needs a mechanic, bring it to the ones who truly care. Stacy's Repair in Woodruff.
Welcome back to the Epic Recreation post-game show. Make your next vacation epic. Visit epicrecreation.net. We're broadcasting live from the Les Schwab Plains Tires broadcast booth, and it is time for our Stacy's Repair post-game diagnostics. And we were talking in the post-game for the Rebels. Just do what you just did every single time, every single game. Obviously, we're kidding, but the defense was spectacular tonight, and the offense put up 21 points. After a tough week last week where we only scored 10, our second week in 11-man football, I think, was much, much better. They weren't terrible last week, but they did look like a team in their first 11-man game. This week, they looked like a football team for sure.
Well, I think the offense did a good job of possession. I don't see the numbers on that one, but 58 plays from the Rebels and only 36 from the Rangers tells you that they dominated on time of possession. 276 yards of total offense held the Rangers to 84. That's more than triple for the Rebels. I think probably one of the challenges for the Rangers, 5 penalties for 60 yards, including that one that kept the Rebel drive going. And the other thing I would stand out, the Rebels were 4 of 7 on fourth down attempts, and leading rusher for the Rebels, Carter Hoffman, with 12 carries for 83 yards, and Riggins Walker for the Rangers, 9 carries for 35 yards. The Rangers averaged only 2.6 yards per carry, and we talked about that in the pregame, that they were going to try to run the ball. The Rebel defense, I think, maybe ought to get the player of the game just because they held tough the whole game.
Absolutely. They were very good. Obviously, when you shut a team out, you're going to have to play great defense. But Max Perry leading the effort on defense. A couple different times where a couple seniors were in on the play, and you love to see just the leadership of Trey Walker and Max Perry. Trey Walker told me in an interview this week that he really, really wanted to work on, he didn't want to be known as a kid that always lost his temper. There were plenty of opportunities for Trey to do that, but Trey showed his maturity that I think he's starting to figure it out as a football player, as a leader, that you can't have those penalties. He had a couple last week, and I think he thought about it over this week, and he had a few times where he was pretty late but didn't respond, and I think he did a very good job. So I just wanted to point that out about Trey, because I know Trey talked to me personally, and he really, really wanted. You could tell in his voice when he said that. He doesn't want to be known as the kid that lost his mind and is the one that causes problems for his team because he takes a late hit and he's selfish about it. But the diagnostics report for me is the offense was very good with the option. Carter Hoffman making decisions whether to pitch it, whether to keep it. We didn't necessarily get the balance we wanted, but we were leading most of the game. So when you're leading, it's easier to run the ball. You don't want to throw it because the clock keeps moving.
I was looking for 70-30. We ended up with 77-23, so not bad.
Not bad, but you'd much rather run the ball when you're up. So you'll take that as keys to the game. This has been the post-game diagnostics report sponsored by Stacy's Repair. When you need a repair, take it to the ones who truly care. Stacy's Repair in Woodruff. Stay tuned for the Bear Lake Convention and Visitors Bureau calendar update. You're listening to a Bear Lake Community Health Center presentation of Rich Rebel Football on 98.3 FM and online at mylocalradio.com.
When you think about Bear Lake, think family, fun, fishing, beaches, boats, green, and great food. Think water, wildlife, trails, and shakes, snow, scenery, and sun. Think summer. Go to bearlake.org and plan your visit today. Visit Scenic Idaho.
Whether you're kicking up the dust in the hills, making waves down on the lake, or taking advantage of the world's greatest powder, don't just hope to have fun. Take that sled by the handlebars and make your time at Bear Lake epic. Epic Recreation rents equipment and cabins for your vacation fun at beautiful Bear Lake. From watercraft, large and small, to UTVs, sleds, and more, Epic Recreation has it all. On-road, off-road, or out on the Caribbean blue water. Book your next adventure at epicrecreation.net.
At Rich School District, we believe that success motivates individuals, and every student is capable of learning. We believe an effective classroom facilitates learning. We believe in the development of lifelong learners, and we believe that a quality education makes a difference. Student involvement equals student success. Currently, 93% of Rich High students participate in extracurricular activities. Rich School District, providing a quality, well-rounded education for each student.
In the state where life is elevated, live your life in a higher gear. Cash Honda Yamaha can help you enjoy our beautiful local terrain, whether it's in the valleys, mountains, snow, or water. So get out and enjoy all nature has to offer at a higher speed. Visit Cash Honda Yamaha in Cache Valley to start living your life at your new speed. Visit us in Hyde Park, just north of Logan, Utah.
Welcome back to the Epic Recreation Postgame Show from the Les Schwab Plains Tires broadcast booth. Looking forward to the coming week on the Bear Lake Convention and Visitors Bureau calendar update. And we have the Rebels volleyball team will be in action here in Kemmerer. I'll be back here tomorrow as the Rebels will take on the Rangers volleyball team. They've won 3-0. They won 3-0 earlier in the year. That, of course, was the Kemmerer Rangers' first game of the year. So we're going to expect maybe a little bit better of a matchup tomorrow as both teams have probably improved, and the Rebels are currently up 2-0 on the Altamont Longhorns as they continue their run through conference play. Next week we'll have the football game at Thermopolis or Hot Springs County, as I'm starting to find out. Unfortunately, we will not be able to carry both the ICS volleyball game as well, as the Rebels will play. The volleyball team will play ICS at home on Friday, and the Rebel football team will play in Thermopolis. And we'll have that for you on 98.3 FM and online at mylocalradio.com. When you're thinking about spending some time at beautiful Bear Lake, make sure you visit the Bear Lake Convention and Visitors Bureau website. They have great information about year-round activities, places to stay, eat, and more. Bear Lake Convention and Visitors Bureau, Bear Lake, Utah, and Idaho. Plan your next vacation today. Visit bearlake.org. Once again, the final score in today's game on the Station on Main scoreboard is the Rebels 21, the Rangers 0. Tune in for coverage of the next Rich High School football game on Friday. We'll be coming to you live from Thermopolis at about 3:15 for pregame. But until next time, go Rebels.
The proceeding has been a sports production and sports broadcast of Cook Brothers Broadcasting, LLC. No portion of this production can be used or rebroadcast without the express written consent of Cook Brothers Broadcasting, LLC.